All right, great. We're gonna start at 6:35, so in 5 minutes. We're at 689 deck lists submitted, so we're trying to get to 700. That's the goal. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. All right, stream is on. We're gonna hop over. Let's see. Should be ready to go. I'll unmute you shortly. Let's see. All right. Hope everyone can hear me. I'm with Esam. There he is. How are you doing today?
I'm chilling. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Looking forward to the tournament today. Over 600 over 800 registered. We currently have about 689 deck lists submitted. So hoping that we get to 700. We have 4 minutes left to get there. We're at 691. So if you haven't registered, or you haven't submitted the list, make sure to do so. Yeah, it's a lot. One of the biggest online events in years, I think. We already beat last, or I guess 2 weeks ago. So
the inaugural event.
Yes, the inaugural event. The second one's bigger, $300 prize pool now. So it's been increased by 200. Shout out to Toys Terminal for sponsoring. And then one of my donos from someone in the Discord as well. Shout out to John Hoff. I appreciate it for the donations. And yeah, I'm excited to see what does well. 2 weeks ago, we saw Grimmsnarl take down the tournament, and Grimmsnarl's kind of been on a tear in online tournaments. What do you think's going to do well at this one? I'd love to know your thoughts.
Well, obviously we don't have the new set yet, so it definitely seems like Grimmsnarl has a good matchup into everything, but like Bolt kind of. So I feel like it's going to be one of those two. Considering Bolt is just strong, especially if they have a good start. It's hard for that deck to brick, really, because you need like a single nest ball to get your Fan Rotom, and then Fan Rotom gets you everything. If you're running the Owl build, of course. But Grimmsnarl's too strong. If it sets up, it is so powerful.
Yeah. No, definitely. Really has kind of a chance versus everything. I mean, I even was watching it, take down decks like Toadscroll. I think last time, it was round 1 or 2. We saw Grimmsnarl take down a Toadscroll deck, and it's kind of crazy that it's able to beat the decks that it probably shouldn't be beating, right? Like Toadscroll's built literally to beat Grimmsnarl, so it's pretty interesting to see how versatile and I guess resistant to you could say tech stuff in the format, which is always cool. So
yeah, I mean, big Monkey Dory deck, of course, so the spread can get really obnoxious. And the thing is, if you don't evolve into your Grimmsnarls, if you're just doing everything else and people are attacking your Grimmsnarls, they're taking one prize, and then suddenly with the Frostlasses and the Monkey Dories, you can suddenly take, your first evolve into a Grimmsnarl can be a 4 or 5 prize turn, like very, very easily.
Exactly. Yeah, no, one of the cool things about the deck is that it's really able to fall behind and take 0 prize cards, try to avoid activating Pheasantipity, and then, set up a big checkmate play. That's one of the really cool things about the deck is that it's able to, go like 0 prizes and then take 4 and then, finish off the game. Kind of similar to decks, for example, like Dragapult. Dragapult's a deck that tries to not activate Pheasantipity, versus a lot of different decks. For example, things like Raging Bolt. You're not trying to give them access to Pheasantipity. So they aren't able to get those 5 energies to knock out. And if they miss, then you should, be able to swing a 4 prize turn and then clean up with things like Blood Moon. I really like those decks. I like the decks that try and play around, really powerful cards. Obviously Pheasantipity is, super good. And decks like Dragapult, Grimmsnarl, and Gardevoir have been kind of the 3 decks in the format that, try and focus on taking those huge prize card turns. And they set them up over multiple turns, which I think is, kind of cool. I like that it's a little bit more in depth than just going 2-2-2. So, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely hurt my brain. I didn't sleep well before my league last week, and it is a lot more complicated than the decks I've played, because I've played mostly Miraidon, some Raging Bolt, and then what's the other thing that I ran? I guess at locals it's and like Joltik Box, which obviously are all pretty simple decks. So having to do like math multiple turns in advance for Monkey Dories and exactly what you're supposed to do, and then I misplayed. TM Devo is a weird card to play with because I've never had that in any of my decks.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting card. It's been seeing some play, the TM Devo. I mean, there have been so many times where I've been playing against Grimmsnarl, and I've been like, oh, I think I'm okay. And then they pull out
I'm
the TM
totally
Devo.
fine.
And I'm like, no, why
Yeah.
did they have that? That's always one thing that's kind of funny, but all right.
It is nice that multiple top decks have good matchups into Dragapult, because I'm a little bit tired of Dragapult. Because I know Guardia obviously has a winning matchup, and then it seems like, especially from like playing it last week,
Yeah.
and then like it just seems like Grimmsnarl just does what Dragapult wants to do, but better because we have more Monkey Dories, and you know they can't swing that big in general. So like it's really hard for them to remove Grimmsnarls. Whereas we get 2 attacks, we Monkey Dory so much damage, and we're like, cool, we win.
Yes. No, definitely. It seems like I have found a stream match for round 1. We're gonna head over to stream channel number 3. It looks like there is a Greninja EX that is being played by Benjamin. So this seems like a really cool match. I wanted to show this one off. So let's head over there. Excited to hop into it.
Drag me.
All right, I will drag you. Let's see. Wait. All right, so funny thing is there are so many stream channels. I have to like drag you through multiple to actually get you to the stream channel, because we have
so funny,
because we have so many games. I mean, we are completely full of games. So excited to hop into this here. Let's go into it. Let me just switch over.
Oh, we got Toadscruel versus Greninja. This is crazy.
This is gonna be crazy. All right, so
I can confidently say I have never seen this matchup, because I've only seen Greninja EX at like one of my locals, which was infuriating as a Miraidon player, because that thing, you know, knocks out every Pokemon, and they search a boss's orders for next turn.
Yes, this was definitely not an expected. Let me just, yeah, this was definitely not an expected deck. Greninja is a deck that's been around for some time, but hasn't necessarily seen a whole lot of success. I mean, there were some like Charizard builds and stuff that were showing up, but I guess, or like with Blaziken, actually, I think that was the fire type, right? It was the Blaziken were they using? I think that was the one. Yeah, that one was kind of interesting to watch.
We are going to get a TM Evo on this Duskull and this Froakie to get the Greninja a little bit closer. We do have that Arven lined up, so if there's no hand disruption from this Toadscruel player, assuming Toadscruel with the bug catching set, obviously,
yes,
you know, we can get a Greninja next turn with an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, it's a pretty good giveaway. It should be that deck here. We do see the Ogerpon bench here. Yeah, there's like no other deck in the format I think that plays bug catching set, right? I think this is the only one.
Such a good card.
It is.
I think we talked about it last time. It's just like an insane card. Thank God grass isn't like a really, really good type, or that would be one of the best cards in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay.
It's like we see the Iono. Bruno asking, is Dalgard the judge again? Yes, Owen will be judging. Shout out Owen. Been holding the fort down for us, making things easier on me, so that I can cast with Esam. So shout out to Owen. I appreciate you as always.
Yay! Thanks, Owen. Everyone say thanks, Owen, in the chat.
Yes, thanks.
My wife said thanks, Owen. So we do see an Arven and a Greninja in hand. Again, we don't see any Toadschools, which is a little bit of a problem because you need those. So we're not going to have those available yet. Oh, wait, it's not Toadscruel. It's Sinistcha?
Oh my gosh, it is. You're right. What the
My
heck?
bad. Press 1 if you thought that was what's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, we're watching.
Yeah, this is the spice.
Bravery Charm?
Yeah, there's the Bravery Charm. Retreat into the Ogerpon. We're going to see a hit here for 120. Now, the big question is is Ben able to get that Greninja EX and actually do something here? Because it seems like we might be getting into a two-shot war. Yes, you do have the Dusclops, but Greninja is only doing 170 plus the Dusclops, which is 220. So you're going to need a Dusknoir here if you're actually going to take the knockouts. We'll see if they're able to do that. This is a crazy deck here. I have absolutely no idea what's going on, but this is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, getting 2 more Duskulls, knowing that that's what we need to one-shot. We have an Artisan. I'm not sure what you even... Artisan... Honestly, I don't know what Sinistcha EX does.
So Sinestcha
So,
EX has this attack called Rebrew, which I believe does 20 times 20 for each grass energy in your discard pile. So the goal is to get tons of grass.
oh.
Yeah, I think it's in discard pile. Chat can correct me, but I believe that's what it is, and then they all get shuffled back into the deck after that. So it's, kind of just like a nuke attack that you're supposed to use to, kind of clean up games. So that's most likely what we're gonna see here.
Oh, and this Dusclops only gets to 250 with that Defiance Band, so it's not going to be enough to knock out this Ogre Pawn.
Yeah, not going to be enough here. They're going to need that Dusknoir, but they don't really have the pieces. One of actually the cool things about the Greninja is that it does allow you to search for 2 cards. However, you have to attack with it first, right? So this is a situation where the hand isn't necessarily very good. However, with that Shinobi Blade, we'll be able to replenish the hand and get some good cards. Potentially, another Dusclops or a Dusknoir. And then maybe something like a Research or an Iono. We'll see what they get here.
Going for the Defiance Band, either probably saving it for the next Greninja EX, but you don't really get O-Code since you're weak to Psychic. So you should be fine this, whatchamacallit, this next turn.
Yeah, should be good this turn here. I don't think needs to worry necessarily too much about anything bad happening. I don't believe...
Ripple energy switch in hand.
Yeah, I don't believe this Sinestcha deck, with already 4 energy on board, can very easily get to that Rebrew attack. KO. The other attack on the baby Sinestcha, I believe, does 70 times 70 for each grass energy you discard off the field. So, typically the goal of this deck is to use the baby one first, hit for 210, and then, use maybe 1 or 2 of those, get tons of energy in the discard pile, and then use that Rebrew to take a knockout. That's typically what they're trying to do with this deck. It's actually pretty interesting. I played it before, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's like kind of similar to Toadscroll, where you just kind of win games by running your opponent over. That was like one thing that I was kind of pleasantly surprised about it.
Getting 3 energy into the discard, getting that Revavroom as well to increase that discard to get some card draw, hopefully for the Sinistcha player. They see a little bit good. I don't know if do they have another energy in hand. They already had 3. Well, a Vessel and then an extra energy. So that's already a lot to commit to the discard.
Yes. You
see the Turo. That's so many in discard.
Yes. Trying to get up. I think he's going to need... Yeah, he's counting. There's 7 in there currently. So we're still a little bit of a ways from actually taking that knockout with that Sinestcha, but that Revavroom is a really cool card, synergizes well in this deck, gets those energies in the discard pile, and also boosts your consistency as well. So this is really cool to see.
You draw to 6 with that ability, right? It's not like a Radiant Greninja where it's just a discard for draw 2.
Yep, draw up to 6. It's really cool here. So now the big question is are you just going to punch here with the baby Sinestcha, or are you going to go into the big one, try and force, something like a I guess something like a Dusclops or a Dusknoir to knock it out? We'll see here.
Probably whichever one you find, because it doesn't look like there's an immediate evolve. Okay, it has an Ultra Ball, so definitely helping there. Gets to pick whichever of the Sinistcha that it wants. With 8 energy, do you also have another one in hand? You already discarded 4 this technically 4 from hand this turn. That's a lot.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting spot here. I mean, there definitely is an argument if you could to just like punch into the active. You could also KO the Dusclops on the bench as well if you wanted to. But oh, that's a really cool artwork. I've never seen this artwork before, Sam. This is a yeah. It looks like we're gonna see the Rebrew attack. It actually puts 2 damage counters on any of the Pokemon for each energy, and they get shuffled back. So it doesn't actually have to do it
so
to
they
the
can knock out that Dusclops.
It can snipe, yes. That is actually really cool. I originally thought it just was 20 times 20 to the active, but it's actually anything you want, which is pretty sick, actually. So yeah, put 2.
But then you shuffle them into the deck, so you only do that once.
Yeah.
I guess helps the consistency. You get a bunch of teal dances off of it, but this is a very interesting position because do you go for that Dusclops? Do you hope that your opponent doesn't have it next turn? I mean, okay, yeah, just goes for it on the Greninja EX, but with this Defiance Band Dusclops play that we talked about, that will be enough to KO the Sinistcha for sure.
Yes, exactly.
And I don't know if you do that and then just use the second Dusclops now just to KO the I don't know what Sinistcha's
The Poltergeist.
pre-evolution is called.
The
Poltergeist.
Yes. Oh, looks like attaching the Defiance Band onto the bench. So choosing not to take the knockout here. Maybe what he's thinking is that, okay, this Sinestcha hit me for 160. It's probably not able to one-shot me next turn. Okay, I'm just going to save my Dusclops here, which is a little bit interesting. I might have just tried to take the KO in the active and also the bench and just set themselves up in a situation where their only attacker is Ogerpon. But, you know, then again, I think the problem with this...
You mean 2 grass energies.
Exactly, yeah. I think the problem with this like Greninja deck is it's not doing a ton of damage, right? So I think if you can set up 2 shots, it's probably good, and then try and like win the game with a huge like maybe double Dusknoir play. That might be what they're trying to set up here. But I
wonder if they just forgot that they were down prizes, so didn't realize the Defiance Band was live.
Yeah, no, sometimes that happens.
Like, yeah, it's gonna pop one. So okay, knocking out. I forgot it's Pokemon language.
Yeah,
knocking out
Pokemon language.
What was it? Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Yes, I think there's because this is a slightly different one. Because isn't there Poltergeist, and then there's Poltergeist, and then there's the evolution of Poltergeist. Yeah, there's a lot of
the hottest TM Devo of all time.
Yeah, you could. You could go Dusknoir and then TM Evo. Because the actually, we know you could go Dusclops TM Evo here, actually, because the Poltergeist only has 50 HP, I believe. 30. Oh, wait, really? It only has 30?
It's a monkey door. Yeah, it's
Oh
a
my
monkey
gosh,
dory
wait,
away
this thing's
from
so
getting
small.
KO'd.
Yeah, this thing just gets knocked out very quickly.
So basically, it does what we said, except without the card search.
Yes.
Again, I really think they just weren't ready for that to be live, or maybe just wants to line up the 200 damage with the, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Assuming that this Greninja is just going to get knocked out by an Ogerpon, didn't want to just have a 1-turn use of that Defiance Band, but it would have been a good use.
It would have been a good use for sure, and I guess they're going to hit here. Yeah, so I think the opponent definitely misplayed. I think they probably thought, or they forgot that a Defiance Band would have actually... giving them the knockout because
3 ghosts.
Yeah, because like there's no reason to TM Devo here. You would have always rather just chosen to hit for 200 and 20 plus, or 200 plus the Dusclops, which would have been 250. So you always would have rather just taken the 2 prizes there, but still kind of got the job done. Just took one less
in a bit more
prize card.
circuitous. Yeah, which it can matter because that 3 versus the 4 is a huge deal.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, again, if they KO this Greninja EX, if the opponent just has 2 grass energy in their hand, that's gonna be 150. So that will be enough to knock out that Greninja EX, and then you can't even use that remaining Dusclops or Dusknoir in hand. So
yeah, exactly. It's looking a little bit difficult here because because like if this Ogerpon KOs, then that Dusclops is, trapped on the board. Like, I've had a couple situations where, like, my opponent's at 1 prize card, and they didn't have a knockout, but they had the boss's orders on, like, my Dusknoir on the bench, and I'm like, oh, I literally can't sacrifice this, or I lose the game, and it has, I think, like, 2 retreat costs, so I can't even move it.
There it is.
So, yeah, this is looking sketchy here. I mean, and there's no way to add any extra damage, so 200 is all that this Greninja is going to be able to hit next turn, so...
I wonder... if in theory this deck should be running like the calamitous snowy mountain of like every time you attach an energy it does 20 damage, and since you're using only water energy, that might be a way to get some damage back.
Yeah, possibly. We're gonna see that super rod being used here. I'm gonna be getting back the Poltergeists and also the Sinestcha. That was always a card when it first came out. I remember I was recording a video on it and I literally had to keep re-recording it because I kept saying like the name of the card at the very beginning wrong, but I've gotten it down now. I've gotten it down. All right.
What's the Poltergeist's ability? Do you know?
Yeah, so the Poltergeist's ability prevents bench damage done to it. I believe I think it actually prevents Phantom Dive as well. It prevents like all effects, I believe. So it's,
all effects of attacks. Yeah.
Correct. So it has a tiny bit of HP, but it kind of makes up for it with that pretty powerful ability. So.
But not against those ghosts. But still, we have 2 more set up, 1 prize card remaining. What does this Greninja player do? I mean, again, you can't use Dusknoir, nice top deck of the Greninja EX. So now we get to Iono, this huge hand all the way down to 1, but can't use... I mean, yeah, you might as well get more HP on that Dusknoir for sure, because you don't want it to be like boss's orders and just sniped easily.
Correct, yeah. So I think like in this situation here, you are kind of running into like one of the weaknesses like with this Greninja is that it only hits for 200 right now, which means all the Poltergeist player has to do is just Ogre Pawn once into the Greninja, and then the Greninja attacks again, and then they just Ogre Pawn again. So since the Greninja player missed a Froakie here, they can't attack with like a fresh Greninja on the next
Oh yeah,
turn.
they can't retreat with it.
Correct. Ooh, there's Kieran. Kieran would have been one of the ways to set up a one-shot
that'd have been
this
so
turn,
nice.
but didn't have it here. So what do you do in this situation? It seems like a really, really tough spot because now the Poltergeist player can just go punch, punch, and the game should be over. But, you know...
Well, punch, punch is only 150, so it's 300, so they would need to find
one
an
more
extra energy.
Yes, one more energy. And also, I guess...
And even if they find the energy, do they use it on the Rev-A-Room to get 6 fresh cards? That's a hard decision as well.
I think you probably
but yeah, not even
to.
any Froakies left in deck. There were 0 Froakies left in deck.
Yeah, not a lot of Froakies here.
I guess the rest of them are prized because I think we only saw 2.
Something like that. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot. I think this deck plays 3, maybe 4. I could be wrong, but some of these decks don't play super thick count. Like I remember the Palkia Dusknoir deck, you know, used to play only like 2/2 Palkia, so I assume this deck probably plays 3. But yeah, you know, kind of comes down to if the Poltergeist player is able to find the Rev-A-Room, which like they already have on the board, but they just need the energy. I think you probably use the ability. Just drawing up to 6 is so powerful and can lead to things, you know, like energy retrieval. On top of it too, you also rebrood so many energy back into the deck, so the likelihood you find an energy off those 6 cards is like astronomically high. It's like
because all you need is 1 more. I guess 2 more technically, because you need the extra damage. Oh no, that's a 3 retreat cost. Dusknoir stuck in the active.
I think I literally just like mentioned like maybe 3 minutes ago that this is what's happened to me before, where it just gets trapped, but it's happening.
I didn't realize how big it was.
Yes, this is the problem.
I didn't see any. We need the top deck. I was gonna say the Kieran. What a top deck! That's actually incredible for the Greninja player because, of course, they do have the boss's orders that would OHKO the Pheasantipity. If they go down to it, maybe they should just well, I don't think they should KO it now.
Yeah, probably.
Now they're gonna be able to bring up the fresh Ogre Pawn. Oh, they have the boss. They have also have the boss's orders. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because they can search for the boss's orders too. You know,
they already have one.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So if they didn't have it, but yeah, this is actually correct, I think, because yeah, now they're...
I wonder if you search for something that you don't want in case you get Iono'd.
Yes, this is something that I sometimes do with, you know, like decks that have like quick search, you know, like there's those rare situations where you have literally everything you need and it's like, okay, I'm just going to quick search for a random card. But this, it's coming down to a...
Is there a gust?
Card hand. Is there a gust effect? There's Nest Ball.
Nest Ball. Do they play bundle?
Here we go. That's a great...
Do they play bundle or a second? Imagine second Fez.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Could be Mew EX.
That'd be
wrong. I said maybe they play Mew EX. That could be something else they could use to draw a couple cards. This is looking to be an insane game. Wow, what a like! It was looking like the Greninja player was kind of out of it. I feel like Ben like definitely fell a little.
No Nest Ball. This is looking like game. Double Nest Ball.
Maybe there's a
unfortunate.
There's nothing. Wow. So Greninja taking round number 1. It wasn't looking promising at the beginning, but
yeah, it was looking scary, but has that boss's orders, and so that will close out the game. No Dusknoir at the end misplay. That is going to be really, really tense game. But again, that little bit of lacking energy.
Yeah.
They overextended a little bit on that Sinistcha play.
Yeah.
And, you know, they didn't have any more energy on board.
Yeah, I think that, you know, one of the things about Rebrew is that I think you really want to hold it until the end of the game, just because you put a bunch of energies back into the deck, and like in some situations they can actually clog it, but you usually want to use like Rebrew if you can for like the big like 300 KO. But
yeah,
Ben in the chat here said,
or at the very least KO something on the bench.
Yes, yeah, KO something on the bench. But yeah,
that was one good thing. The Greninja didn't clog their bench with any... I mean, we didn't see any, to be fair, but, like, didn't put down any, like, Pheasantipities or Mews that could have potentially been sniped, which I guess is why the Sinistcha player went for what they did.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I gotta say that Kieran top deck was pretty gnarly. That was, you know, pretty sick.
That was literally I think the only card in the deck, because I remember looking and I was like, I didn't see Turo, I didn't see anything. Oh, the Kier, and then it showed up. I was like,
yeah, I was like, this is not looking too good for the opponent here. That was really cool to see. Yeah, so we got 2 fantastic rogue decks.
What a matchup!
Very interesting. Oh yeah, 100%. Those were great. Let's see. Is there anything else interesting right here? How much time do we got left in the round? That game definitely went quite a bit. Okay, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's take a look at the metagame here, actually, Esam, while we're waiting. Let's go take a gander over to this here. If you want to load up the metagame on Limitless, I will do that as well.
Oh, true. I have agency. I can go on my computer.
You can do it. I know, it's fantastic, right?
Play limitless.tc. Oh, well, I should probably just click your tournament somewhere on here or something.
Benjamin
Announcements.
said it's just 4 Froakie, 4 Duskull, and 1 Shaman. Okay, so it's just pure consistency. Yeah. Greninja EX will be better with the new set. So what does Greninja get from the new set? It gets Ignition Energy, right? What
does that do?
Ignition Energy.
Is that the 3 on the stage 2 Pokemon?
I think it lasts for 1 turn. It counts as 3 energy on a stage 1, right? Or no, stage 2.
So you get the discard.
Yeah.
Whatever the second attack of Greninja is. Honestly, I don't know what it does.
So it does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. But you discard 2 energy. So what you do is you just...
Oh, so it's Radiant Greninja's attack, basically.
Correct, yeah. But the Ignition Energy only counts as 3 colorless, so you still need to attach, like, the Water Energy. So, like, you'll attach the Water Energy, like, on turn 1, and then on turn 2, you'll go turn 2 Ignition Energy. Discard the Ignition Energy, because the Ignition Energy also discards at the end of the turn, which means that you can use the Mirage effect to discard the Ignition Energy anyways. So you just keep... slapping on Ignition over and over and over and over and over. Which is actually kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it. That seems like a pretty cool combo. So
right now in the meta game, we are looking at still number 1, Dragapult, parentheses, all variations. Because that looks like about 18% or 19%. Next would be Gardevoir at 14% with 103 decks. Grimmsnarl, Frostlass, then Raging Bolt, then Joltik Box.
Yeah, 31.
I thought people hate. I mean, I think the Joltik Box matchup against Grimmsnarl kind of rough.
Yeah, definitely. I think that. I
feel like you need to go, and you need to put down too many support Pokemon to make that deck work super well.
Yeah, exactly. Someone also mentioned that you can play Hilda in the Greninja deck. Yeah, that's a card I'm really excited for. Hilda.
What does that do?
So it gets an evolution Pokemon and a energy card and puts it into the hand, which is really cool to see, actually. So I'm excited to see that card.
Repeat that. I got cut out.
Oh, you're good. So it searches your deck for an energy and an evolution card, but you can search your deck for special energies. So, for example, like in Dragapult, you can search your deck for, a Dracloak or a Dragapult and also a Neo Upper energy. So that card's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited to see if there's any crazy, I guess, Neo Upper energy decks or, things with the brand new Ignition energy as well. I think that this new set doesn't necessarily completely change the meta. It just kind of adds some cool cards and things that I guess kind of help decks. So that's what I'm excited to say. But anyways, yeah, we got 103 Gardevoir, as you said, 91 Grimmsnarl, 70 Raging Bolt. Pretty much as expected here. I would say a decent amount of Enzorark and a decent amount of Ho-Oh Armarouge. We got 15 Ho-Oh Armarouge here, which
is so cool.
Yes, it's really, really cool. It's a deck that when you get set up, it just feels broken. It feels amazing when you get going. Like when you get that turn 2 like Armarouge
down, double Ho.
Oh, amazing.
The fact that you can move the legacy energy is actually so absurd. It is so cool.
Yes.
Like I played against it when I topped my local with Miraidon. They misplayed because they put the that energy on like their active, and then I used Zoroark to snipe something on the bench, but like I had no other way to win. The fact that you can move that energy, I literally looked and I was like, oh wait, this deck is awesome.
Yes. Yes.
If only you could recover that energy.
Yeah, exactly. I guess another big thing that Ho-Oh does get next format is going to be the Air Balloon. One of the problems with the Armarouge is it has 2 retreat cost, and I was watching my friend play it at locals, and the opponents just kept counter catching and bosses ordering and trapping that thing over and over and over again. And since you don't really have a draw engine in the deck, sometimes you can just brick like after they gust it a couple times and they get cheap Pollen, for example. So that was really frustrating. But with the Air Balloon, you fix that problem.
Or you just burn all your energy getting it out of the active, for sure.
Yeah, you fix that problem. So, yeah. Shout out to the Armarouge.
Surprisingly low amount of Flareon Noctowl. I feel like that deck's, like, super broken. I'm surprised people don't play it more.
Yeah, I think it's a deck that has so many options. I think people get a little bit hesitant to play it. I know, like, also, like, in real life, the cards are relatively expensive to get. So maybe people just don't
That's
test
true.
it in real life, and they're like, yeah, I just am not gonna practice it online. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it is a pretty powerful deck. The ability to turn one flare charge. I've only done it once. Or burning charge, I think it's called. I've only done it once
Yeah.
before, but when you hit that
Oh, with
turn
the
one burning,
boosted evolutions EV.
yes, it's so powerful when
It's
you
so
get that
good.
out. Yeah, it's a pretty gnarly combo when you get going. So yeah,
Turn 1 flame charge, turn 2 you do either the Terapagos attack against like Raging Bolt, or I'm just gonna send everything back. Goodbye.
yes, exactly. One of the
Was it called Angelite?
Yes, Angelite, one of the more annoying attacks in the game for some people to deal with. So what would you say if there was one rogue deck that you expect to make cut? There's plenty of them down here. Do you have any that you're, willing to, bet on? Anything that you're like, okay, this is gonna surprise people and see success? I'd love to know.
Honestly, I was just looking. I was about to be like Terra Box because there's only 6 of them. I don't think that counts as off meta though. That's a good question. I think honestly, where did it go? The Ethan's Typhlosion. It's like obviously not as powerful as it's going to be next format with the Bengal, but it's still really, if you don't play a deck that Okos the Typhlosion or like can end it before they set up, like it's really hard to deal with just one prized attackers that are killing everything knocking out everything that you have. Like that can be really, really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I think it's strong.
Yeah, I say I'm gonna make a hot take. I don't want to say this is really a hot take. I think there'll be one Iron Thorns Crustle cut. I think that
was the other one I was thinking.
Yeah, it's, I would say, kind of a deck that is entirely matchup based. Like if your opponent plays the tech, she can't do anything. But if you hit the matchups that don't have the answers for you, you just win. So that's
And what are those answers? Smart TCG?
Yeah, for example, if they play potentially things like Mew EX or, like a one prize attacker, for example. Like if the Joltik box decks plays Mew and also the Galvantula, some like Joltik box decks are cutting the Galvantula, but if you play Galvantula, you're able to, handle those pesky Crustals a little bit more easily. For example, the Dragapult decks, if they're playing the Dusknoir, they're significantly better into that deck because if they don't have Dusknoir, they can't really deal with the Crustal with the Luxurious Cape. But yeah, I think this deck is actually kind of underrated. It's a little bit bricky at times, but I think it's pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised to see that deck go far today.
Chat, you can let us know what you think by tweeting at SmartTCG. Just flood his replies with every single prediction that you have, or put it in chat. But it's funnier if they tweet at you.
Yes. Yeah. Feel free to do whatever you want. Someone says, I think Flareon could be good with Hydreigon. Theoretically, okay, that could be interesting, potentially with that new Ignition energy. Or you could just, use Flareon to load up the Hydreigon.
Yeah, just 2 energy onto Hydreigon. If only Hydreigon didn't, like, I feel like it doesn't do enough. That Obsidian attack doesn't do enough.
Yeah, no, it's a card that's been around for a few months now. Just I think people haven't been able
Might
to
as well use the
figure it out
Greninja.
yet. Yeah, exactly. But like I actually think the attacks are really powerful. Like the first attack dealing like 140, discard the top 3 of your opponent's deck.
200.
Oh, 200, yeah. Like even better. Like I think that attack is really powerful. Like I remember playing against that at a regional and I almost lost. I got pretty lucky and I was like, dang, this attack.
Did you almost deck out?
Yeah, well, I think I just like ran out of resources. I think I was playing Charizard and I kept hitting good cards. But I think the cool thing about it is that like you can just kind of win games out of nowhere if you like mill something good. The problem is it just is really hard to set up. So I wish they give it a little bit more, I would say, support. Hopefully Ignition Energy is that, so you can use that second attack a little bit more effectively. But
well, it's only one. It's 3. It's Dark Psychic Steel Energy.
Okay,
so it's not like it's just colorless.
Okay, yes. So actually Ignition doesn't work.
And a colorless. It's Dark Psychic Steel and colorless. So
yeah, so you would have to use TM Blindside. That was like one thing people were talking about. Blindside, like 100. I think it's 100 snipe to anything.
No, sorry. I was thinking of the final attack one.
Yes.
Like you have 1 prize left. 280 for 1 energy.
Yes. There are actually 2 Hydreigons. Yeah, I got them mixed up in my head when I was talking about them because there actually are 2. There's the one that mills, and then there's the with the Obsidian, and then there's the new one that's coming out, which takes the extra prize cards. Which I'm kind of curious to see if that's.
I didn't know what that is.
Yeah, so the new one that's coming out, its ability, when you knock out a Pokemon, you take an extra prize card. So the problem is
Is that like in the Mega Set or the next set?
It is in Black Bolt and White Flare.
Ooh, crazy.
Yeah.
How? I have a quick question though.
Yes.
It's a very memey card, but do you think there's a world where Tatsugiri EX is good?
I think it'd be really fun. I hope that
That deck
someday.
would be insane, and also you would give your opponent so many mulligans if they want them.
Yes. That
Like,
definitely.
I think that deck is hilarious. Was it like you put as many or like
You look at the
you
top,
put
I
as many
believe,
Pokemon
7
as you look.
cards, and you put as many.
You look at like 10 or something.
Oh,
It's a
10.
lot.
Yeah, it's like 10. And you look at the top 10 and put as many evolutions onto the board. I saw some people using that with Hydreigon a few months ago. The problem is that in theory, if you get it set up,
And
it's
in any
broken.
Pokemon you find.
Yes, it is broken if you get it set up. The problem is that it doesn't always get set up, unfortunately. So it's
that with the Flareon, you get all of your evolutions without needing to evolve. You can't get TM Devo'd, you're set.
yes, exactly.
So I'm very happy I got my 2 copies of Gold Miraidon for, when it comes back. It's so funny to me still how cheap this game is. Again, as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, where I'm like, I can buy an entire Pokemon deck, maybe 2 Pokemon decks for the price of a card in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes, pretty crazy. Pokemon is just so much cheaper. That's like one thing. It's like the deck, just like decks are like what, 30-40 bucks for like competitive decks, but like in Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, you're like paying thousands of dollars, I feel like.
Yeah.
For some of the top decks in the format.
To then get OTK'd and you're just like, oh, I didn't even get to play. They just had the 3 hand traps and I couldn't do anything.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, next round should be coming up here very, very shortly. It looks like.
Also, so people in Discord were talking about it. Is your last name Smart?
Yes, it
actually is. Or is that a
is.
content name?
No. That's
Okay.
actually my last name. So yeah, some people don't actually know that. I'm funny enough you mentioned that. Some people have like asked me, and I'm like, yes, it's legitimately. Yeah, it is legitimately my last name. Looks like we got 2 judge.
name.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, sometimes people ask you, "Are you actually smart?" Like but that's never fun. I'm just like, shut up. I don't want to have to talk to you about it. But yeah, some people like make that joke about it. But yeah, it is. So yeah, we got 2 judge calls here, table 260 and table 351. Should be finishing up shortly, and then once those are done, we'll be heading to round number 2 here. A couple people that I'm thinking about. We're probably gonna cast a Frost. Let's see who won. There was a couple Ho-Ohs that did well.
I like Ho-Oh.
Let's see.
Unless sometimes it, as you said, it will just break. So it'll be like, yeah, we're gonna watch this. Oh, they didn't get a turn 1, whatever Pokemon that is Charcadet.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we're gonna do Ho-Oh next round.
When's the mixture but with the Charcadets into Armarouge EX? They just play a 1-of after, so like to end the game. Even though I guess they normally end the game with like a Torrential Pump or an Iron Hands attack.
Yes. Yeah. It looks like still figuring out what's going on here.
Assuming the judge calls were, hey, we didn't click the thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, sometimes there's like those there's actually a lot of new players who haven't played in limitless tournaments before. So at the beginning of the tournament, I was trying to explain to people, hey, like, this is how you register. You don't have to check in, just make sure you submit your deck list. This is how you find your rounds and things like that. So and that's honestly really
Honestly,
cool to
so
see.
smooth.
Yes, it is. It is super smooth, and it's cool that there's so many new players saying like, hey, I want to try playing in a TCG online tournament. That's like the big thing that I think is really cool, because it means there's new players who haven't played in online events before saying, hey, I actually want to play in this. So
yeah, it's actually like, as someone that has had to play other tournaments and other video games on other websites, Limitless TCG is actually like the smoothest thing ever. It is insane how easy it is to use. It almost feels like, oh, it can't be that easy to use. This is fake. It's like, no, it's just really good. It's a good platform. Shoutouts to the Limitless devs.
yes, one of the most easy platforms to be able to run. That's like one thing that I love about it, is that is just so simple. It just walks you through everything. And I think that's, a big thing is that, Robin, who's a world champion, created it, knowing this is what players want, right? So that's one big thing. Someone
I honestly just figured,
oh, no, go
I
on.
heard Azul say, I've heard Azul mention Robin before in like videos and podcasts and stuff. And I didn't realize that he was a world champ. Normally in my head, of course, there's like the people that are very good at the game, and then the nerds that kind of support the game and are
Yes.
like the analysis back end people. But I didn't
Yep.
realize that's one and the same in Pokemon. That's actually so sick.
Yes, it is. It's really really cool to see. Top players putting back into the community. I guess that's also kind of the point, like at these events too, to give the community something online, because traveling to major tournaments is really expensive. It's really, really expensive for a lot of people. You have to get the flight, hotels, things like that. So, I kind of wanted to just like provide something for the community so they can kind of get that mini regional feel, and also, gives them practice for the bigger events in the future, like if they do decide to go. So, it's really, really cool to see. I wanted to answer one of the questions in the chat asking if it's monthly or bi-monthly. It is going to be bi-weekly. So next week we probably won't have anything, but the week after that there will be another Smart Series that should be hosted with Black Bolt and White Flare legal. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, gonna be very, very exciting to see.
I'm gonna win that tournament.
Yeah, hell yeah, do it.
I'm gonna be up at like 4 a.m. being like, I'm going to Zekrom you.
Yes. Anyways, the last judge call is being handled here, so we're going to be starting the next round here very, very shortly. I'm excited to watch some Ho-Oh action. That's, one of the big decks that I'm excited for with the addition of Air Balloon, and that means we get to see, I guess, back-to-back interesting decks. Like I know that we have, the Gardevoirs of the world, the Grimmsnarls of the world, but it's, cool to see players, even in this size of a tournament, playing these more rogue-type decks. I think that's really, really nice to see, actually.
Yeah, it's also hard to conceptualize, like, oh, if I do well, I just win $200 if you're used to playing, like, your leagues or even, like, cups, where you're never winning money, you're just winning support, like, prize packs and stuff,
Yeah,
or, actual store
stuff.
credit and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's always an interesting thing that people are like, oh, right, this is for money. Like, I remember the first time I won a Smash Bros. Tournament, like, I won money, and I was like, wait, that's so sick. It was, like, $40 back in, like, 2005, but still, it was nice. So... Yeah. Speaking of interesting decks, one of my friends just won a cup with Gardevoir, but they had the one of Dedenne in there.
Really? Okay.
To recycle items, and it's like, okay, well, you don't want to KO, you don't want to put up a 2-prizer, you can just get back like your secret box or a counter catcher or I think it's any trainer, or it might be an item. I have to look it up.
Let's see, next round.
Pokemon TCG.
Let's see.
Just any trainer card from your discard to your hand, and you can't do that with. That's a very rare ability. So very interesting.
All right, here. Let's go back over to the caster corner here, and then I will move you over to the game.
Okie dokie.
All right, and then.
Whoa, long time no see.
Yeah, right. All right, I'm gonna move you over 1 second.
Oh, also, someone in chat asked, what do you think the most successful, or what do you think the best Dragapult is? Personally, again, I'm not a top player. I think the Dragapult Dusk Noir is the best one, because otherwise that deck can just struggle versus the other, like, Stage 2 decks a lot more. So I think it definitely is a lot easier with Dragapult Dusk Noir. Like, obviously, it's a little bit less consistent, but also Dragapult is inherently not consistent, because if you don't get a Buddy Puff in turn 1, you kind of just lose anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I have those times where like I research and I can't find Dracloak or things like that. But anyways, I'm gonna move you over. I'm gonna move you twice, so take a second. Go here. All right, let's hop.
I also didn't realize you were dual streaming until I saw someone in chat say something, and then I didn't see it in chat, and I was like, oh.
I am, yes, I am dual streaming. I like to stream both on Twitch and YouTube.
Nope, not YouTube Studio.
All right, let's hop into it. Round number 2 here. We have Mitch, who is playing Ho-Oh. And they're both 1-0. So excited to see what this matchup is. Very excited. Yes. What's your next event, Sam? You got anything coming up shortly that you're going to?
I have a challenge on Thursday. Probably nothing like super big. Anytime soon. Whoa, this frame rate's crazy. Why do they run the Durant? Is it just to KO Grimmsnarl?
Yeah, so the main reason is that it provides a one-hit KO on Grimmsnarl, which is pretty cool. So that's the reason as to why.
I don't know what energy you need. To me, like, I guess in my head I'm like, just run Iron Leaves, but obviously it doesn't work with Fire Energy, so I guess that's why.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. We do see it looks like going up against ENMC. ENMC actually did pretty well last week. I believe they were playing. Yeah, it looks like they're playing Gardevoir. I think they were top 16 or maybe top 32. They definitely started well. So we'll see. We got the big bad Gardevoir against Ho-Oh Box. We'll see if the Rogue deck is able to take down arguably considered to be the strongest deck in the standard format.
I still think it's the best deck in format.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can't have like 3 of the top 4 in NAIC be and they're winning over Grimmsnarl consistently. I genuinely don't get it.
Yeah, it's, Mind Bend Confusion is pretty good. Yeah, Mind Bend is pretty good.
So they're going to Ultra Ball. Obviously, I think they're going to research away this hand. So you have to guess what you're most likely to need. I was going to say either Latias or Sharkadet to me made the most sense. You're obviously going to put that area 0 down. It's probably will get bumped next turn by an Artisan because I'm assuming this Guardy, because they always have it, the Guardy will always have Arven for Secret Box every single time. Didn't find another Sharkadet, which, well, I guess you only need one.
Well,
so I guess you don't
The only
both.
threat would be if the Gardevoir player got rare candy Gardevoir Screamtail KO, which is pretty difficult for them to do. I guess the logic is that if they're finding rare candy Gardevoir, turn 2, they're probably beating you anyways.
Yeah, if they got it, they got it.
Yes. Definitely.
I agree. Put the second Ho down as well. Going to start loading up the energies. Do you clog your bench, though? That's the question. You don't have that Latias on board.
Yeah, that's one problem here.
Seems like they're going to put that Iron Hands down.
Yeah, we're going to see. Potentially that turn 2 amp you very much. They do need to find themselves either the Legacy Energy or Luminous Energy. I believe Luminous will just get replaced with... what's the new energy coming out? Prism Energy. That's a new card that's coming out.
Isn't that just it's just Luminous Energy without the drawback, right?
Yes, it's well, actually, okay, well, not technically. Legacy or the drawback on Luminous Energy.
Luminous is you can't have multiple special energy.
Correct. Yes, but the Prism Energy can only be on basics. Now, you're not really attacking with Arm Rouge very often, anyways. So the drawback of not being able to attack with Arm Rouge is significantly less. I guess it just counts as a colorless energy,
right,
I think, if it's attached to Arm Rouge. But the problem is that then it shuts off, I think, entirely, which means you can't then move the colorless energy around. That's, kind of one of the weird interactions is that,
the secret box is prized, or they already have it in hand.
Yeah, or I mean, we just saw a Gardevoir get discarded, which isn't a great sign here for potentially turn 2 rare candy Gardevoir.
Why did they went for Ultra Ball to get the Curlia instead of just rare candy, because they didn't even discard an energy with the Ultra Ball, did they? No, they discarded. Okay, the TME here makes sense. That one's fair, I guess.
Yeah, and now as Ho-Oh, what do you do here? This is yes, you can amp for 2 prizes here, but admittedly, this is a very threatening board state. There's a Gardevoir already there. Oh, no.
You get the armor. Well,
no
yeah, this is a weird hand. You can't get it down enough, I don't think, to Mew. No, you can't, because you'll at least have the 2 supporters and the area 0. So that's looking a little bit unfortunate with the no Armor Rouge there.
Yeah. One of the things you can sometimes
sure what
hope
you do
is if the opponent had to use TM Evo, they weren't able to properly thin their deck. Because there have been some situations that I've played, Gardevoir, where I've gotten the TM Evolution out, and I've gotten the Gardevoir and the Curlia. I just haven't found a research.
There's no energy right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a problem I feel like the Gardevoir deck oftentimes runs into, is it can get the TM Evolution off, but the follow-up after that can be sometimes tricky.
Don't worry, they ripped Vessel, discard something, get 2 energy into the research.
Yep, 100%. They do it every time.
They do it every time. It's crazy.
Every time.
Okay, Fez. There's the research. With Iono. Okay, so no energy still in discard for this Gardevoir player, Ian.
Yeah, this is looking a
little bit. With 7 cards, is it likely they find another Ultra Ball or a Vessel or both?
Decent odds here. Now finding Vessel and Ultra Ball can be a little bit tricky. If they do,
again, the secret box is prized.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about Ho is that's 230, which means 1 Monkey plus Miracle Force doesn't actually KO.
Repeat that, sorry.
Since you have 230 HP, 1 Monkey Dory plus Miracle Force is 220. So it's a knock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's not actually enough to knock it out. But now we're gonna see if Amp can come through here. It's a huge turn. They have to find something.
This Iono has to be huge.
Yep, I 100% agree. Yeah, probably.
I do agree. Put the Mew down. You might as well.
Might need it.
Ultra Ball incoming. Raw Armarouge. Ultra Ball.
No legacy energy. That is the problem. But you can.
Oh, true.
You can thin this hand down enough in Mew for 1, 2. I think
Technically, you can do it for all of them.
Yeah, but you can't
You just
attach
have
the
to fail.
fire for turn. Oh wait, actually wait, no. You can Ho-Oh for turn. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. This ability's sick. This is why the deck's doing well.
It's cool.
Yes.
This is a really confusing turn. I understand this hesitation by the Ho-Oh player.
I think you have to go for Amp. I think it's just like Amp or bust here. I think if you miss, it's like pretty.
I think missing is honestly fine.
Okay.
Because they only have the 2 energy currently, and they're both on the Monkey Dory. So it's not like they're gonna have a huge giant Omega turn, presumably.
Yeah.
There's also no dark energy on that Monkey Dory either.
Yeah.
So
it's true. It's true. Yeah, we'll see what they discard here. I think they're thinking about just YOLO Mewing for 3 and trying to find it.
What if they mind bend back?
Yes. There's the armor. That's such a cool artwork. I didn't even know that artwork existed. Wow, that is super
Yeah, it's
cool.
real nice.
Yeah.
It honestly looks like the wall, like the castle that the Iron Hands like busts through in that one.
Oh, that's kind of sick. I didn't even notice that. One thing that me and some of my friends were doing a couple months ago was it was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and we were just like looking at artworks and actually looking more at them, and we realized how cool actually and thought out some of these artworks were actually. So.
I love the ones that all match each other. So we did get another Ultra Ball, but unfortunately, bench is full. You don't really need the second Armarouge right now. So do you discard and go into the Ho-Oh and attack? I mean, I don't think you want to let Countercatcher be live, so I think you just sit here.
You could sit here. You could also KO with the Armarouge, knowing that you can Ultra Ball for another. Actually, no, Armarouge doesn't do enough, right? It does 90 or does 110?
I have no idea.
I don't think it does enough. Yeah, what are you going to go into here? A Terapagos? Maybe and just punch? Possible. Could go into Turtle.
Yeah, like it's just the question of do you want to take this knockout, get those 2 Psychic Energy into the discard? Because like you're forcing them to have, a lot more outs. I honestly like this not attack because you need a lot more outs. Granted, there's a couple of things susceptible to a Stadium bump here, but they didn't have it last turn. They don't have that Secret Box to search for a Stadium. So if they didn't put, because they would have put the Artisan down last turn to get another Ralts or a monkey, at least another Monkey Dory. Okay, there's the Vessel. So the first energy finally hits the discard, which means that with Retreat you have 2. They're gonna go for a Dark Energy probably, but there's no damage on board. No, just gonna go for the double Psychic.
Yeah, no damage on board here, unfortunately. Choosing to pass here, I think that has potential just to kind of hold off for a turn, knowing that it could be hard for the Gardevoir play to actually get energies in the discard pile. But we see the promotion of Gardevoir, and that's not a good sign. We're probably going to see that Miracle Force KO. And one of the issues that this Ho-Oh deck can sometimes run into is hitting over 300 damage. It's really good at going 2-2-2, but on smaller things in the format. You know, things that you can use, potentially the Wellspring.
Ogre Pawns.
Yeah, the Amps of the world. But, oh boy.
What do you KO here? The Mew? Yeah, so you are going to get that first 2 prizes. Looking a little scary, but also, I mean, maybe you go into the Wellspring Ogre Pawn's in discard. I forgot. I was gonna say maybe if you can, you go into the Wellspring Ogre Pawn and just knock out. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Radiant Greninja, not. I'm thinking of like, just KO the 2 things on the bench. But I don't think that exactly works that way.
Yeah, this is icky now. There's not a whole lot of amazing options on things you can do.
Another Area 0. I guess you go for Fez probably just to get some more draw. Oh no, I actually don't know what the Fire Hearthflame does.
It does a lot of damage. It does 280 actually. Oh wait, this is enough. I think because Hearthflame, I believe.
If they get the Monkey Dory.
Max is at 280. No, I think it's just enough in general.
Because they have 40 on them.
Well, 280 plus 40 is enough anyways. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're already 40. Yeah, they don't even need the Luminous. Yeah, Hearthflame, I believe, does 280 if it's an evolution Pokemon, right? Yeah, someone in the chat said, yeah. 280 and discard all energy. Okay. Oh, wow. So
discarding all energy is scary.
I think it's discard. I could be wrong. This is the one Ogre Pawn that never gets talked about. Wow.
Yeah, but they are going into it. Going to have 3 energy on it. They're still going to have 2 energy, admittedly. Or sorry, 3 energy still available because of that 1 energy in hand. This is looking. This is a really good return, KO, because now if that Gardevoir player does not have another Curlia, they're gonna be in a really scary spot. And I guess you probably put this 30 back onto that Curlia in case they don't knock out
Oh, for another
this.
knockback.
Okay, didn't want, I guess, their Monkey Dory to have anything to do,
I guess, yeah.
but in
But
case they get the dark, although we don't know they have it.
I still would have put the 30 on Curlia because it means that if they load energies on, so like if they load 3 energy onto Gardevoir, that's 60 plus the 30 from before, that's 90. So they can't heal all of that off, which means Hearth Flame then like hits for 280 again. Now this probably won't matter because there's a Monkey Dory on the board. But yeah, one of the cool things about this deck is it just throws a bunch of random BS against you, right? There's so many different things you can attack with, what actually makes this Ho-Oh deck relatively difficult to play against sometimes, because I bet that like
there's too many options. Like you can't cover everything. You just hope that they don't have everything.
Yeah. And it looks like he had the answer when I wasn't too sure if there was an answer. It's like, oh yeah, Hearth Flame exists in the deck. Sometimes it's like hard to remember like literally like the 12 different attackers they have in the deck, because there are that many. I think there's like 10 to 12.
And they can still attack with just the Ho-Oh because it will prolong the life of all of their Pokemon unless they're getting one-hit knockout. But okay, we do get the second energy onto this Monkey Dory, but it doesn't look like there's a Gardevoir. I feel like otherwise they would have immediately played Ultra Ball or immediately evolved.
Yeah, definitely seems like a smart decision.
Obviously,
yeah, you just want to slam that down. We do see Super Rod, so yeah, but if they're not able to get the knockout here, they also manually attached, which is not a good
Guardy's
sign.
even play. I didn't realize Guardy played Super Rod for some reason.
Yeah, some of the Gardevoir lists are cutting from that 4 stretcher and are going to a heavier count of, I want to say heavier count, but they're playing like 1 Super Rod, 2 stretcher. Yeah, that's normally what they're doing.
Oh, they got their secret box off the prizes. That's so fortunate. Now you're gonna be able to get that Ultra Ball. We did see the whatchamacallit, the Gardevoir put back into the discard, although you could have just secret box for Night Stretcher, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I think probably getting Night Stretcher would have been better because you only have 2 cards in hand, which means you have to Ultra Ball now. So it's kind of like could have just gotten Night Stretcher back, which would have been a little bit more of an effective thing. They also have Pheasantipity too that I don't think they've used yet, right? So you could have just started the turn with Pheasantipity to see what you get. Like that's a big sequencing tip, is that, you know, when you're looking for potentially certain cards, oftentimes it's good just to start with Fez, just to give yourself information.
What do you get rid of? That's the real question. I would say the Terrapagos is probably the easiest pick to get rid of. Oh no, it's the only Terra you have.
Yeah.
Oh no, you have the Hearth Flame, but you will lose. Well, never mind, you're losing it anyway. I would say probably the Terrapagos.
Yeah, you probably don't need the turtle here. You probably... It's kind of tricky. You could just get rid of the hands because you're probably not amping next turn. You're probably going to have to go through Gardevoir. And then potentially that damaged Ho-Oh is being considered. I think that's fine. I mean, you need to keep, you know, 2 Arm Rouge pieces on the board, or they're just going to Scream Tail one of them and you'll lose.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it has to be Ho-Oh. It looks like Mitch here.
Or the Latias, honestly. And just hope that you find.
Yeah,
gonna get rid of that Ho-Oh. Getting rid of that energy, though, hurts. That's unfortunate.
100%. Yeah, it does not feel good. And yeah, the big question, there's the Ultra Ball as expected. We'll see a Gardevoir, and we're going to see that knockout here. Now, the big question is what are they knocking out with? If they're knocking out with a Gardevoir, they are very... I wouldn't say like they're in a bad spot, but they're in a very shaky spot here. Well, it looks like they're going to KO with Clefairy. Okay, I like this. You probably want to KO with Clefairy because you need to protect your Gardevoir. But they have to find 2 Pokemon here. They have access to Artisan for 1, but they need to find 1 more... Actually, wait, no, they don't because they have Monkey Dory.
120, 40, 60, 80,
yeah,
200. No, it's at 200 right now.
Yeah,
because they have Monkey Dory.
Yeah, with the Monkey, they can KO. I was about to say, like, if they just hit with Gardevoir.
Monkey Dory kind of broken.
Yeah, Monkey Dory's pretty good. One of the... I personally already think it's in the top 15 for best cards ever. It's just it is literally... Yeah, it's just, like, mind-blowing how, like, game-changing...
It's mind-bending?
Yes. I was going to say that, but I was like, okay, I don't know if that pun worked here.
Well, it does. It works. Chat, let them know. Don't doubt yourself. Be confident.
We'll make it work.
I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, there's 30 there. Going on to the... There, and now we have the KO. And now it's just like, what do you do? Because if you KO the Gardevoir, the Clefairy's here. If you KO the Clefairy, then the Gardevoir just comes up and kills you. So, or knocks you out. And that's kind of the problem here, is I don't know...
How much damage does that Ho attack do again?
That does 150, I believe.
So
160,
no, they don't have enough. They don't have any damage to Monkey Dory back. That is the unfortunate thing of getting rid of that damaged Ho-Oh. Yet, like, that's rough. Yeah, we do have a Vessel for 2 more energy. We still have that Armor Rouge, and we have a lot. I mean, you got a Fez for 3. Hope you get another one of your. I mean, I doubt you even have another Stadium in deck because I think you already discarded 2 of them. Oh no, they do have one, and the Legacy Energy is still in there, so it wasn't even like it was prized. It's just a little unlucky.
Yeah.
I think you hope you get like Regigigas. Oh no, Regigigas is for Terras only. I thought it was for stage 2s for some reason.
Yes.
Do you have a Night Stretcher? I didn't see that. Yeah, there's a Night Stretcher. You have to maybe Blood Moon and hope they don't get double Monkey Dory, because if they do, it's game. Because that. Oh no, that's not enough. That would be 250.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to worry about here. I don't know what the Ho-Oh player is thinking of. I don't know what line really exists here, because the Gardevoir's already hitting for 250 next turn with double Monkey, which, based off how many cards they have in their hand, on top of having access to Fez, it's almost
They almost
guaranteed.
surely have a Gust.
Yeah, I mean, they surely have a lot of...
And Fez.
Yeah, looks like they're considering what to do here. We see the Pheasantipity hit the board. Maybe going to try and find that.
You have to get a Luminous or the Legacy.
Oh,
I mean, the Legacy
there's
can help because that is one less prize.
Yes.
But now you have a full bench, so now you can't attack with anything other than the Ho-Oh.
And this doesn't do enough.
Yeah, you're only doing 100 snipe.
Uh-oh.
So you're going to be able to KO that Ralt, but... Oh, wait, no, it's dark. It'll...
Oh, wait, this is weak. Wait, no. It's weak to
I
metal.
don't know if the attack doesn't hit weakness on...
It would hit weakness on the active.
Oh, it's very steel. It's steel, it's steel, it's steel.
Yeah, some of these psychic types are technically fairies, so they're weak to metal.
Yeah,
I see.
makes
Boss's
sense.
Orders, cool arrow. We're going trapping here. We need a
Oh, they don't have
turn.
another energy?
If they just
Or the Turo.
Yeah, if they just had another Hearthflame or any way to deal with that Clefairy and the Legacy Energy, they would have tied the prize trade up, which means things like Countercatcher don't actually work, which means that I think that this, I think Mitch here, who's playing this Ho-Oh box, would have been actually okay. I think that he would have been able to, be in a better spot, but...
Not getting that Area 0 was a little rough.
Yeah, 100%. Did not feel good to get that, once you lost that Hearthflame.
There's the Vessel. You get a Dark Energy, and if they have a second energy to just put on their Vez, they do. Do they also have the Boss?
Yeah, most of these Gardevoir lists I don't think are playing boss. I guess actually some are playing one. Yeah, some are playing the one of like the list that one NAIC. So we'll see what they end up doing here. I mean, like really all the Gardevoir players.
I feel like they would do it faster if they had it.
Yeah, exactly. Normally when you have game, it's just slam it down and like I can win the game. But some people like to be extra careful just in case. I've had times where like I thought I had game and I just like made sure. I was like, okay, I need to count here, make sure I don't mess this up. So I don't think they have it though. I think they're just gonna punch the active and knock it out, which they do enough because of the Clefairy's Full Moon Rondo plus Monkey Dory is plenty. So they will go down to 1 prize.
I mean, also if they have just any basic in hand, they can put it down for 220. Oh, it's gonna thin the hand out because you don't want to accidentally. Oh yeah, they have the Artisan for the Scream Tail as well.
Yeah.
If they have a Bravery Charm in hand, they might just be able to Scream Tail KO the Ho-Oh. Or the Latias. No, it doesn't look like it. But still, that is the threat next turn. All they need is literally to live. And I don't know how the Ho-Oh player changes this.
Yeah, like you survive a turn, but what's the actual game plan here? It's like you don't have any route I think that exists unless there's another crazy card that I'm completely ignoring here that could open up a potential win con. But I guess
and no Night Stretcher for the Fez. But you couldn't even do it on the Fez because you would need the second Night Stretcher. Yeah, the deck is looking mighty thin.
Oh, where's the
Yeah,
squawk?
this is looking. I can't imagine this is anything other than GG.
I think they might be going out in
motivate
style.
for 2.
I think they're going out in style.
Hell
here.
yeah.
At least it looks cool. They're going out, but
Okay, can they motivate? Is motivate only basic energies?
it is only basic energy. Yeah,
I mean, I guess it wouldn't matter because there's only one.
Yeah, making it look cool
So
before
funny.
you before you take the L. Unfortunately, I mean, hey, maybe playing for the disconnect or something like that. The miracle. My opponent's internet crashed W. But yeah.
I take
Anyways,
it.
looks like Gardevoir able to take the W. No, Guardy, strongest deck in the format. Arguably no surprise, but it was cool to see Ho-Oh got really close in some situations to actually getting the potential, game swinging plays, but just fell a
They
little bit
they
short.
found their Luminous and their Legacy a little too late because they missed out on being able to KO the Monkey Dory like turn one or their turn two, I guess. Like that would have been huge. And the monkey obviously would have put the energy in discard, but they would have kept up the tempo. They would have been able to KO the Gardevoir after that, and then they would have been able to get a KO with something.
Yeah.
So yeah, missing out on those key pieces is really huge in these off-meta decks because you really need to find so much in order for it to work super properly. And a deck like Gardevoir does not give you a lot of time because the more time you give Gardevoir, the more unstoppable it becomes.
Yes. And now we also get Jellicent as well. It's another card that's coming up. I'm excited to see how that actually changes the deck. I know that some people have been saying it's.
I was like, no, you're not. I don't think you play Guardy. You're not excited for that card at all. You're just saying that to be not biased.
Yeah. No bias. But I wonder if people are actually going to play it over extra consistency cards. That's like one thing people have been talking about, that like, oh, this card's not worth it actually because you'd rather just play consistency instead. That's like one thing a lot of people have been, kind of discussing. Is it better to play the tech card or is it better to play the consistency? So
I think it's worth it. I mean, it does. If you get the 4 energy on it, it does 160 perma Badoo. People hate that card.
So yeah.
Granted, that's because you can't gust around it, but like it forces every deck to play multiple bosses orders.
Yes.
Or you're just immediately lose.
Yep, which also feels awkward because if you do that and you play something like the boss's orders, then you run into the situation where you're not using research or using, like Iono.
Or next turn you're just like, oh, I can't anyway.
Correct. Yeah. So I think a card, for example,
if that makes the Grimmsnarl match better for Grimmsnarl though, because they have another 2-prizer to just KO with Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, no, I don't think Grimmsnarl gets that affected by it on top of it too, because it plays like 3 Spike Myth, so it's just like, okay, I can just Spike Myth, get, double Morgrim out. Okay, kill one. Okay, I'm just gonna go in, or yeah, it should be pretty okay overall. But anyways, yeah, looking at how much time we got, 5 minutes left until the next round. Moving along here quickly. Looks like just seeing what the notable players are doing. Got All Out Blitzel 1-1 here with Ho-Oh. Looks like, oh, they're also playing Ho-Oh. I know Azul's playing in this tournament. Cool to see.
Yeah,
Azul
I saw that.
is 2-0 with Charizard Pidgeot, taking down the Sarah Ledge deck and also Zork as well. So good to see him playing. Got a couple other.
So funny to me that deck just that deck didn't change at all and is somehow still. Like, everyone was like, this deck sucks. It disappeared for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, wait a minute. Actually, it's always been good.
Yes. That was a deck that I think people just needed to figure out how to play it. I think that was the one thing that...
The same. They play it the same.
Yeah.
I guess they run a thicker Charizard, or they run more Charmeleons. That's about it.
Yeah. I think people are like, oh, Monkey Dory's broken. Yes. The Monkey Dory edition was sick. Seeing... them add Monkey into the deck, I think, really unlocked it. But that was really the only change. I mean, the deck is pretty much the same, as you said, right? But I think finding a list that could make up for the lack of consistency, because you lost Forest Seal Stone, you lost Rotom, you lost Luminion.
There's a squirrel eating a carrot outside of my window right now, and it is so cute. It is such a big carrot for that little squirrel.
Really? That's a good Twitter post. Good photo. I missed the end of the game. Who won? Gardevoir ended up taking the W there over Ho-Oh Armor Rouge. But
like, I guess the Brock scouting helped and the Monkey Dory helped, but like, it's so funny to me. Like, looking back, I was looking at a couple of the Gardevoir lists, and I was like, had they always been running kind of the same thing? And then it's like, nope, they used to run like one Monkey Dory, and I'm just like, that seems crazy to me. That people weren't like, oh, Monkey Dory is, because I've only been playing since December. So it's insane to me that so many Gardevoir players weren't like, oh, minimum of 3 monkeys.
Oh, yeah. I remember when Monkey Dory first came out at NAIC, it was the first event where it was legal, was NAIC 2024. I actually played Gardevoir. I ended up getting top 30.
Wait, it's only like a year old of a card?
Monkey Dory is only a year old of a card.
Damn.
Gardevoir has been around since 2023, but at 2024 NAIC, a lot of lists were only playing one Monkey Dory. My list I got top 32 with only played one Monkey Dory. Plenty of other top lists as well only played one Monkey Dory. I think people just didn't know how broken the card was, because the card had just came out and people hadn't like really thought yet of, oh, let's jam 3 to 4 Monkey Dory into our deck because this is the best card in the format. And so
I mean, I guess, yeah, especially with more Charizard being there, they're just getting one hit KO'd every single turn anyway. So they're like, oh, is the extra Monkey Dories worth it for the 20 damage or 30 damage we're going to push over after some Psychic Embraces, I guess?
Yeah. Someone said that card is nuts. Yes, that card is nuts. One of the best cards we've seen in quite
What's
some
the
time.
last card that's been banned by Pokemon? Like, not rotated, but like straight up been like, oh, we messed up. Here's a ban.
That is a good question. Chat might know this. I mean, I like remember them, but they haven't banned anything in so long. And there's so many cards. I'm gonna say there's so many cards, but they banned this melodic card and expanded that read you would knock it out and you'd give them a prize and you'd attach 3 energy from your discard pile. But that created this really unhealthy combo where you'd use it and then you would play a card that if you had more prize cards remaining than your opponent, they drew 3, or actually no, they drew 2 or 3, and you drew 5, and there was a Pokemon in the format that for 3 energy, so you would use the melodic, you would put 3 energy onto the Trevenant and Dusknoir tag team. You would use Ace Trainer, which put them down to a super low count, and then you'd use Trevenant and Dusknoir's attack Night Watch, which did 150 damage, and you picked 2 random cards out of their hand and they went shuffled back into the deck. So you would
turn 1, put their hand to 1.
It would be turn 2 because it was an evolution, but yeah, you would turn 2. But the problem is that turn 1, there was a Gengar and Mimikyu tag team that had this GX attack called Horror House, which read your opponent couldn't play any cards from their hand on their next turn. So what you would do was you would go second and you would Horror House them turn 1, so they couldn't play a card. So this go draw a pass, and then you draw for turn. You would pop your melodic, you would do the Ace Trainer, you would put them down to 3 cards, and then you'd rip 2 out of the hand, and it just broke the meta. And this was an expanded though, and this is in and they banned it during COVID, like, which is like kind of funny. Like the combo was so broken. Yeah, that combo was so broken. They're like, yeah, we have to ban this card, even though there's no official tournaments for it to be played in. But that's the last card that I think. All right, I guess Scoop Up Net. There's nothing in standard that's really been banned. I can't remember the last card.
You just wait until it rotates.
Yeah, there was one card called Lysander's Trump card. I don't know if you ever heard of that. This card,
is that the one that like shuffles all of the discard back into the deck?
Yes, they banned that when it was in standard. Yeah, but
I saw that in a Tricky Gym video recently.
Yeah, that card has an argument to be the greatest card ever printed. Like the fact that both players shuffle their entire discard pile into their deck is just such an
including itself, right?
No, but there was a card called VS Seeker, which grabs supporters out of the discard. So when you you trump card all the VS Seeker back. So it's just an infinite loop. So it was just it was literally just
that's the way to beat Snorlax stall.
Yes, it actually invalidated plenty of stall decks in the format. There were stall decks that were not cooking. So that was really funny.
What do you think the general TCG opinion, like Pokemon TCG opinion, is of alternate win con decks? Because like as someone in Yu-Gi-Oh, I know a lot of people didn't like them. I thought they were hilarious, like Chain Burn and stuff like that, or like obviously like Exodia decks or something like that. So what do y'all think of like alternate win cons, like the Snorlax stall, the like mill decks with the, what is it? I forget what the card is called. It got like top 16 at the Singapore tournament or somewhere in Malaysia.
Oh, the mill deck, yes.
Yeah, I forget what's the the mill 4. I forget what it's called. Thank you.
You know, I think that I don't hate these alternate win con things. I think it's kind of cool because it forces your opponent to play differently. Like I actually always recommended to people back when Snorlax stalls a deck to play a couple games against it, just so you know how to play against it. Because if you know how to play against it, Snorlax gets significantly weaker. So I think it teaches you different things about Pokemon, but they're oftentimes not fun to play against. That is for sure. Like, playing against the mill decks and stuff are kind of stressful. But it does teach you how to resource manage. So that's, one thing. If you're like strictly just trying to get better, playing against those is, definitely beneficial.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Looks like, next round should be popping up here very shortly. We got one judge call. Yep, looks like that got cleared. All right, awesome. So next round should be going up. So let me figure out who
We
are
just pull up Azul's stream and that's what we watch.
we could, yeah, at some point. Let me just make a. Let me figure out the next.
What decks are you?
match.
What are you the most excited for in the new set?
That is a great question. I'm excited for Air Balloon. That's one card.
You're like worlds to happen.
Yeah, I think Zekrom. That's like one big thing. All right, for my next match, we're gonna be streaming Benny Billinger, who's one of the better players in North America. He is 2-0. He just got top 32 at NAIC. I was just trying to find the game. We found one. So all these stream channels are filled up. I love seeing that. I love seeing that so many people want to be on stream, which is really cool to see. But yeah, I guess
I'll go back into caster corner so you can drag me.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, to answer your question like directly, like I guess like everyone's kind of an obvious choice, but from like the Pokemon, yeah, Zekrom's definitely up there. I might want to try like not even Gardevoir paired up with the Jellicent, but maybe something else with Jellicent potentially. So yeah, round 3 is not started yet. There's one judge call happening. Yeah, one judge call left. Sometimes with like these online tournaments, since they're not in person, like people will be like, hey, like you're slow playing or things like that. So sometimes it's an extra like 3 or 4 minutes after the time actually ends to just resolve things. So shout out Owen for resolving those issues and stuff. I appreciate it.
So you mentioned Zekrom because you won. I forget what.
I won Brisbane.
It was a regional in
with
Australia.
Miraidon. Yes,
There we go.
Yeah, I played Miraidon. Did pretty well. Won the tournament. Was pretty cool to play. It actually was a deck. So I had played Miraidon to EOIC, and I lost my Winnanen to top 32/16. I was 9-1. And I lost, and then I went to Stockholm a couple weeks later, and I played the deck again. And I didn't even make day 2. So I actually almost didn't even want to go to Brisbane. I was just like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to go. I had played like Dawn for those 2 events. Hadn't done as well as I would have liked, but Brisbane worked out perfectly. And I just like thought the deck was cool. Like, I think I think Electric Generator is a fun card. I
love that card.
Yes. It is fun to gamble with it. But I also like the fact that you can sequence properly and max out your chances of finding energy. I always thought that was cool. I thought that was very, very cool. To see. So
Zekrom's gonna be so good. I'm so sad. I'm not someone that opens or like buys boxes or packs or anything, so I know I'm never gonna get that full black Zekrom, but god, it looks so good. It looks so good.
Yes.
You're like, yes, but I'm doing something, so I'm half paying attention, which is fine. Yeah, I still think I want to run out at least a 1/1 Magnemite Magneton line still.
Yeah,
I feel like
relying
solely on the eels is scary.
Yes, I think just giving like the ability to give them a prize card and then Zekrom is like really cool. Like I like that.
Or that plus Countercatcher, that plus Defiance Band to get your like Ampy Very Muches to 150.
Yes.
Just buy the single. That card's gonna be $300.
It's pretty crazy to see. Yeah.
I'm gonna buy the single normal one. That's gonna be like 6. I'm not gonna buy the all black one because I looked. The Japanese one is still $300.
Correct. Yeah, the Japanese one is still pretty expensive. I think someone I know pulled it, and I saw it, and I was like, "How much is that?" And like the time the set like literally just came out over in Japan, and they were like, "Oh, it's like $500." And I was like, "What? This Zekrom's $500?" But anyways, yeah, we're gonna hop over into stream channel number 15. I will drag you over, and we'll hop into it.
Bye-bye.
All right, so we got Benny here, who is
the game loading up. Oh no, sorry, that's the app loading up. I ran 0001.
All right, both players are 2-0. We have Benny, who is, I believe, playing Dragapult Dusknoir. So our first, like, I guess, watch over from their side of a meta deck, as we did just watch Armor Rouge and Greninja. So let's see what they're playing up against.
I can't believe that Greninja won.
Yes.
A pretty good starting hand. Has the research. I didn't see who was going first, but having Badoo and a full line of Dragapults. Granted, you might have to research those away, but still looking pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty good start here from Benny. The only thing that he was really looking for here was an energy. So if he's going first, it's like a decent hand, but no energy is kind of annoying. But if he's going second, he has, research. And yeah, it looks like Benny.
He's chilling.
Benny's going second here and going up against potentially Gardevoir. We see Monkey. Now, normally this would always be Gardevoir, but there's so many different decks that play Monkey Dory now. Never really know.
There's like 6 decks.
Yeah, literally. So many decks play it. And the Buddy Buffet doesn't tell us anything, too. But what they get will definitely tell us what deck they're playing.
They get Cleffa Badoo, and we're just like, no idea still.
Yeah.
Cleffa Badoo, it's Charizard. Okay. Yeah, it is the Grimmsnarl, which is, again, this seems like a really hard matchup for Dragapult.
Yeah, it definitely gets a lot better if you have the Neo Upper Energy, because you can like more comfortably attach to Monkey Dory, simply because you can always get your Dragapult into attacking range quickly. However, it is admittedly kind of difficult if they are able to get fully set up. But Itchy Pollen can definitely change the tides of the game here, and we'll see what Benny's able to do. I mean, Benny's a great player. I know in the Senior Division 1, I think 3 or 4 regionals last year, and then in Masters this year was like I think top 30 or top 40 ranked. So very accomplished player. Definitely knows the lines. Has play tested this matchup before. Played this deck to NAIC. So like if anyone knows how to do it, it's gonna be him. But yeah, we'll see what the lines are here.
This research is going to be like low key. This research is make or break for the entire game.
Yes,
you need to get like that stadium bump. Low key, no stadium bump.
No energy too. Yeah, the stadium bump would have been big, but I don't think they play any stadiums, and that's like the problem with this matchup is if you don't have
Jamming Tower.
I don't know if they're playing it.
Well, we are going to get an Itchy Pollen to at least slow the game down a little bit, but I don't know how much good that is going to do. They're going to have access to double, at least single Dracloak next turn, probably double if they use that Night Stretcher for the one in the discard. But we have that Spikemuth, so we know we're at least getting a Morgrim down, barring Tyran. Prizing it, double Morgrim, potentially with that Spikemuth gym that's still on. But the question is, do we have a TM Evo? Do we have an Arven to get the TM Evo? I'm not sure, because that Frostlass damage on those Dracloaks is huge.
Yeah. The big thing here is just not finding energy. Like, this just means that you're now put in a really awkward situation where you're not going to be able to Monkey Dory as effectively. So, because, like, if you had gotten the turn to attack, then turn 3, you could go Monkey Dory, and then turn 4, you can then potentially like go like Neo Upper Energy attack. So it's just like you need to go like energy touch in this matchup. So this is not looking good for Dragapult here. Despite it being so early in the game, if you start to max out, not max out, if you start to like look ahead into the game, you can't like really materialize as threatening of a board state without access to energies on turn 1, turn 2. So.
I mean, the Duskulls help if he's able to find the evolutions, because it will potentially be able to, snipe those Frostlasses out of the back rank. But again, this is looking real scary. Second Morgrim coming out. I don't necessarily like the third Impidimp on bench, because I feel like you're just preventing more Monkey Dories to hit your bench.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like you're giving like. What you really want to try and do is get like 3 Monkey Dory on the board if you can, like as quickly as possible.
Yeah, because then it just ruins Dragapult's spread damage. Yeah, there's that Night Stretcher. We're gonna have 2 Dracloak. I guess you probably use Dracloak first before you research or Iono, but Iono seems better because you don't want to get rid of that counter catcher, but at the same time, there's only 4 cards in hand for this, Grimmsnarl player, and if they don't have the Grimmsnarl or like an energy now or something, I'm not sure. There's so many things that can go wrong right now for this Dragapult.
Yes, and if we do not find an energy, we're gonna fall even. Oh boy. That's not an
That's
energy.
one. They can't use their Jacques either, so there's no third. Another no energy turn.
No,
This is insane.
dude.
I mean, I saw they only had one fire energy in their deck. At the moment, there's several prized.
Actually, no, I
But
think they
we
only
do
play
have
like one or two
triple.
fire, and then like because it's like
They have Luminous. Wait, we're
yeah,
blind. They have
they
a
have
Luminous.
Oh, there's a Neo
There's the
upper.
Neo upper. But do you get it now and risk getting Ionoed or sniped?
Oh, I think you have to take it because if you attach and then the Grimmsnarl misses boss's orders, then you go next turn attach to Monkey Phantom Dive. The Grimmsnarl player hits you and then you attach to the bench and Phantom Dive again. So this is a huge drop, but I think they're considering just attaching the Luminous to be safe. I don't hate that also. Yeah, they have the Luminous here, so
Hope they just don't Iono you. We're going to see some damage tick on to all these abilities. 30 damage on that monkey, so they can knock out the Badoo if they wish, if they have an Iono. If they have, of course, the Grimmsnarl. Well, they have the Spikemouth, so they're going to get the Grimmsnarl. So yeah, if they have the boss's orders, which I know some Grimmsnarl players aren't playing boss's order. I know some, like Tim Danklin, are running like 2 or 3. So if they find it, that would be huge, because then they would just knock out a Dracloak.
Yeah.
At least one.
yeah,
Depends on if they get a second Monkey Dory down.
Yes. So here we see Spikemouth coming out to get out that Grimmsnarl. Here we go. There is the evolution. Now, the big question is there boss's orders? If they are able to find boss's orders, it definitely can become a little bit tricky. But if they don't find boss's orders and they just take this knockout, what Benny can do is he can evolve into a Dragapult. Not the one with the Luminous energy. He can evolve into the Dragapult without the Luminous, attach the Neo upper and Phantom Dive, and then potentially put themselves in an okay spot. The big thing is that he hasn't been able to put a whole lot of pressure, and that Frostlass is quickly adding up damage. As you can see, there's just more and more damage starting to pile on the board, and that TM de-evolution is becoming more and more threatening as turns go by.
Yeah, knocking out the Badoo there to guarantee 2 KOs, given the fact that this Grimmsnarl will attack into whatever is brought up. Think about doing the Duskull. I don't necessarily disagree, because it is the least valuable Pokemon. There's that second Monkey Dory. Thankfully, I'm going to have to retreat in energy. There's the boss.
Yep, there's boss. Wow, that is brutal.
That's the case. I'm not sure. No, I probably still would have.
Oh my lord, this is so bad.
Yeah, this is looking... I don't... Like, Dragapult simply does not do enough damage unless they literally top deck Dusknoir. But even then, if they can't remove the Spikemouth Gym, they just do it again.
But yeah. I mean, like, the big issue is that Benny missed energy turn 1 and I think turn 2. So like missing...
We have the Luminous.
Oh, yeah. So like, but missing turn 1 was still so big because just not being able to get energy on board just meant that like you're just so far down in energy. I mean, you have some options. You can knock out the Grimmsnarl if you like Dusknoir, but that feels super rough. I think maybe your play has to be Dusknoir the active, Dusclops the bench, Iono to 2, and then Phantom Dive KO the active and KO the bench Morgrim, and just say, I lose if you find Rare Candy Grimmsnarl, but I have no other play. I think that's Benny's only chance here. But maybe going to look for a different play.
The original Curse Blast. I mean, can knock out whatever on the bench. I think maybe going after that Frostlass, yeah, that's going to, limit some damage a little bit. But at the same time, if you're doing these Phantom Dives, unless you're doing one damage counter on everything, 2 damage counters on 2 of them, it's looking really scary.
Yeah, I'm going to look to just
Luxury Escape going on. You do have Fez and Iono still, unless you're going to Jacques, but it seems like more of an Iono angle. Put that Grimmsnarl down to 3 cards, which is not a lot, admittedly. That deck can brick, but he's already so set up, I feel like, that it becomes really difficult.
Yeah, and it's like you can KO here the Frostlass, but the problem overall is...
I guess you can just put all 6 damage counters on the Frostlass. To prevent the Monkey Dories from transferring that much damage, but this is still looking so scary. Oh, gonna be able to kill the Impidimp and the... No, okay, not gonna go for it.
Yeah, I think you just want to hold it here in this spot. Just
you don't want to give another prize.
Yeah, and it's just like, you only have a 3-card hand, so I don't necessarily want to give them more in this spot. I think this line is pretty interesting. You have the ability now next turn to, I guess this still seems rough. Like if the Grimstar player just goes evolve,
They're just doing 180.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
they don't have another. They shouldn't have another Morgrim because they did use 2 already.
yeah,
So it's
exactly.
less likely that they have another one. If they have a rare candy, probably over.
Oh boy.
Because then you can't get around double Grimmsnarl in this position. They have it. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
looking hard because KOing double Monkey Dory next turn doesn't do anything. It also puts them down to 2 prize cards when you just KO the Dragapult. And that's ignoring everything they potentially have in hand, like a boss's orders on the Fez, extra dark energy. Oof.
Yeah, this game's definitely looking harder. I think all the Grimstar player has to do now is just hit the active for 180 and then put 30 onto the bench, put it up to 90, and then just eventually try and pick it apart, like once it becomes a Dragapult. Hoping to put enough damage on it now so that when it's a Dragapult, Shadow Bullet, does enough damage. I think Benny really just needed the opponent not to have that Grimmsnarl and go, okay, Phantom Dive.
The rare candy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because now at this point, this just feels so difficult. But we'll see.
They're not even getting a KO to whatchamacallit, to Ursaluna. You can't Ursaluna. You can Dusk Noir, but Dusk Noir KO the Grimmsnarl, and then you still need to attack with not this Dragapult because you would put yourself down to 2 prize cards. I guess you could Dusk Noir and then Blood Moon Ursaluna with energy KO, but it's still looking so scary.
Yeah, it's looking scary. We see the Monkey Dory here getting grabbed. And I guess the question is where do you put this damage? I mean, there's only 10 on both bench Monkey Dory, so there's like
no way to KO them.
There's just so little. I think maybe what you have to do is just like hit and then try and Blood Moon and then like...
Oh, Howlucha helps.
20, 30. Does it set any math up? I don't think it sets up enough. This is like so... I'm like trying to find the line here, Ethan, and I can't find it. Your line might be like Counter Catcher, I guess the Monkey Dory with no energy on it, like Iono, trap it for a turn and then get an energy attachment and then just hope at that point that you can then...
But so you're not attacking this turn
you
then?
wouldn't
like
attack
that doesn't
this
feel
turn.
good either.
Yeah, but like...
They're gonna put the energy in play. Or the Howlucha, not energy, sorry. They are going to use that flying entry. So I'm assuming they're going to put both on Monkey Dories.
Oh, this is enough actually to KO with the Drenabrain. I guess what he's going to try and do is just set up Blood Moon, Ursaluna, Iono to 1. Yeah, this play is just like a final gambit, just to hope that the Blood Moon wins the game. Okay, this sets something up. I mean, it's going to come down to, I guess, Blood Moon, yeah. Which actually, to be honest, is about as good as you could have asked for here. Being able to, I guess, get rid of both the monkeys. And one of the problems with Grimmsnarl is as the games oftentimes get longer, Grimmsnarl can get a little bit shaky, especially with 30 cards on deck. This deck is notoriously inconsistent during the middle portions of the game because you're not like Dragapult and you have a draw engine. So
I think it's crazy to me that people are cutting the artisans from Grimmsnarl. I mean, I know it helps your opponent, but like getting multiple like monkeys every turn, frost lasses every turn, to me feels so good. I mean, 2 prizes. So if they are able to, no, because they wouldn't be able to Dust Noir once they KO this Dragapult. So that's the hard part, is they don't have access to.
Yeah, they can't go
the
Dust Noir
extra. Yeah, because that would just be game. TM Devo doesn't really help right now.
Yeah, they should not TM Devo. This is the worst thing they could possibly
because that Luxurious
do.
Cape will stay on board.
If they
I mean, it will knock out the active, to be fair. And there's no energy on to Dragapult, but then they will get everything we just talked about. The Dusclops into Blood Moon. Yeah, they're just going to attack. I agree.
Yeah, that seems fine. Let's see.
I don't see a way to get game this turn. TM Devo is game next. No, we won 70. I lied. Never mind. Ignore me. You have Iono to 1. Yeah, I mean, the Iono 1's got to be huge. I mean, it's pretty huge in general, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a good chance that this works. You probably just go Iono to 1 and then Blood and then like Fez after that.
Yeah, as Dracloak afterwards.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, they still have the ability to retreat into the other Grimmsnarl. So then they would have to also find Gust, which I think there's a boss already in hand. Oh, no, there wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder where the boss's orders are. I don't know. Using the Dracloak first is scary. Because they're definitely not using this Jock.
Yeah, definitely don't want to put on the bottom. But it's just going to come down to, oh, are they going to Jet Headbutt here? Oh, I could also maybe... Oh.
No, they couldn't. They're 1 prize.
Oh,
you can't.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess you could. Because
no, the 180 will just KO it.
Well, no, like I'm saying, like you evolve into Dragapult and then just Jet Headbutt. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sorry, for some reason I thought Jet Headbutt was the Dragon Headbutt.
Oh, you're good. Wait, why did they not go into Luna?
I don't know.
Oh, because they couldn't retreat the Dragapult. Oh, okay. They couldn't retreat the Dragapult because there's no there's no way to move it. So but they attack for free with Luna though. I don't know why they did that. Also, why didn't they evolve into the active? They could have Jet Headbutt for 70 and then
It's called misplays.
Yeah.
So then they have to go into Pheasantipity and pray that it works, which like technically a will for a turn.
Yeah. It buys a turn at the very least. Yep, we see the Buddy Puff and shuffles the bottom of the deck though. I think he's trying to figure out if he actually wants to do that. I think that's the one big thing.
Yeah. Because I don't know what you're looking for in this position. I mean, you have a maximum of this next turn. Because Shadow Bullet obviously doesn't knock out the Fez. Obviously, they just had Monkey Dory and Dark Energy. They drew the nuts. I mean, probably not. That's the thing about like finding the additional energies for Monkey Dory is pretty difficult. Because you mostly need Night Stretcher.
Correct. Yep,
Iono. Trying to see another card.
I mean, this means Benny does survive another turn, pretty much. So, and there's research. So, maybe Benny could put together an Ursaluna this turn. I assume that that's something.
Ursaluna, Monkey Dory. That would be enough.
Wait, no,
that's enough.
No, it's so
yeah,
short.
It'll go to 60.
60 plus
they also need an energy.
Well, 60 plus 240 is 300. Aren't they still short because there's no Frost Last in play?
Plus the... Huh?
Well, because it does 240.
Oh, it'd be 300. You're right.
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
still short, unfortunately. Okay.
I didn't even find it.
He needs to find... actually, yeah, I did. He has the Ultra Ball. He can attach Retreat, heal 30. But this is... Yeah, this is potentially fine. Yeah, he can Luna this turn and potentially win the game the next turn. He just has to go Ultra Ball for Luna.
He has the switch in hand.
Yeah, but you need to manually treat this turn so you can switch next turn. Because you're going to have to Luna back-to-back. Ooh, this might actually be close because that Halucha only has 30, which means that Shadow Bullet doesn't KO. So if you heal 30 damage off this Pheasantipity, Benny might actually come back and take this game after it looking so bad early on. He's actually put himself in an okay spot. It comes down to boss's orders, and they only have one card, just one card in hand. I was gonna say one.
Also, they can just retreat. It's like if either person has a Gust, it's a problem, which can be Countercatcher, because obviously he can just retreat into the other Grimmsnarl right now.
I gotta assume Benny has a Gust though, right? We gotta think that. But also on top of it though, that actually doesn't matter.
But he has to research to find it.
Well, he can just Monkey kill it.
Oh, the Monkey Dory. You're right. He just Monkey Dories.
Does he not have it?
I don't think he has it.
What's the last card? I think he missed. Yeah. No, chat just said he can Monkey. Yeah, he could just Monkey. I think Benny's gonna win this game. Wow. After missing those energies so early, Sam, just like falling behind. This was a crazy game. I cannot believe that he won this. Wow. Showing the power.
That was looking really bad.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that Frostlass proved it's like the most important thing. It feels so counterintuitive to just KO the little one prizer on the bench, but like removing that Monkey Dory energy, targeting those two different Grimmsnarls. Again, I really didn't like that like third Impidimp. I thought that was like a huge error because you weren't able to put more Monkey Dories down, which would have proven to be the game multiple times.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely think that having access to that would have been pretty nice overall. But yeah, no, well played there. Great comeback. Kind of the battle of the comeback decks in the standard format. And it's really cool. I always like seeing comeback decks.
That was really good stuff. That was quite the game. Finally, we
I
see
was talking to Benny. He
three
sent me
meta
a-
decks of.
Oh no, go on.
Go for it.
Good.
No, you go.
Benny sent me a message and he was saying how he forgot to evolve the Dragcloak into Dragapult when he retreated into Fez. Because I was talking about how like if you just like hit for 70 with Jet Headbutt there, plus the Monkey Dory hit for 100, and then you just Phantom Dive for 230 the next turn. Because 200 plus a 30, and he said he forgot when he was playing, so he like almost threw, but was able to come back there. So that was cool to see. Yeah, very very cool. But anyways, let's see here. Yeah, looks like
Wild game there.
yeah, that was a crazy game. It's kind of the battle of the comeback decks. Like both of the decks are so good at just making those comebacks when you least expect it. So
Yeah.
that's one of the big things.
And again,
that I
that's
love
why
about it.
I feel like that game is like really showed off like why you want to run Artisan in these Grimmsnarl decks. Because if he was able to get multiple Monkey Dories out, or even like a Shaman, well, I guess Shaman wouldn't have done that much, but the Shaman only does damage. It's not effects as well, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, so Shaman wouldn't have done anything, but like getting another Snow Runt down, another Monkey Dory down, just to like give more outs, because maybe the Iono, there was an energy in hand, but why would you attach an energy when you only have 2 Grimmsnarl like on your board? Like I think the Artisan is really good. I know you give your opponent cards, but at some point you got to make sure your deck is working more than preventing your opponent's deck from working.
Correct.
Is my logic.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna win because you gave them Artisan, but like you were gonna lose anyway without Artisan, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Especially given the way that a lot of decks start with like Buddy Buddy Poffin, I'm gonna get 2 or 3 of my little guy out. It's like, well, you don't need, like, the Artisan would still be fine.
Yeah.
I'm an Artisan lover. I mean, I hate it when I play against it, but I love it
Well,
when I
one of
play
the
Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, like one of the best things is when they play it for you and you're not a deck playing Artisan. It's like, yes.
Oh yeah, like you use your opponent's Artisan, then put down the Spike Myth. You're just like, I got both.
Yeah, it's always a fun thing. Who's already talking? Esam here. Actually, let me update this. I completely forgot. Sorry about that. I need to update my Twitch title to include Great Esam here. Esam, are you thinking about going to any regionals this year or anything, bigger?
Want to. I mean, if there's, I think we spoke about it last time, but if the trailer for like the 2025 and 6 season, like if those lights were accurate to where things were, there is a Florida regional, and I will absolutely go to whatever regional is in Florida. Because that's where I am. I would like to go to more regionals. It's just, as you said, traveling and stuff is expensive, and it's not like I'm, like, in my head,
you're not at the Smash
I have an
level
ego
yet where you used to be at.
Yeah, exactly. Like in my head, I'm just like, well, I have an ego and I think I'm really good, and I have like one of the advantages I feel like I have over a lot of Pokemon players is I have a lot of stamina because I'm used to wake up at, like go to the venue at 10, you're playing your hardest matches at 9 p.m. that night. But like obviously I'm not actually at that level. Like I have the ego that I do. But so I think I could day 2 or make money, but that's not a guarantee, obviously. But I would still love to go. I mean, it seems so fun. God, this game is so it is almost problematic in my life how fun this game is.
Yes, it is. It is very addicting.
I spend a lot of my free time on live, or like if I'm just relaxing, I'm on my computer playing live. Like I could be doing other things. I could be reading. I could be editing a different video, and I'm just like, what if I just grinded out some games?
Yeah. Do you ever think you want to get to the point where you do more Pokemon content? Because I know like Smash has always been, your thing for years, but is Pokemon kind of becoming more of a priority, or?
I mean, I like Smash a lot, obviously. It's still like my love, but Pokemon is also fun. It's just hard because like, again, it's not like I'm good enough to be an authority. Like I can't be like, I've won all these things, listen to me. So it's hard to do that like I'm used to being like an authority in terms of like, oh, people, like I'm right, you should listen to me.
Yes.
Like regardless of how super high level I am, like it's not like I go to a bunch of Smash events, so I'm not like ranked, but people know who I am.
Sure.
But in Pokemon, it's just like, oh, you're the Smash guy talking about Pokemon.
Yeah.
And even though like I
Wonderful.
have good ideas and stuff, it's hard to break into that content. Plus, I don't know what type of casual content to make for this game other than, people love pack openings, but that's not something I want to do.
Yeah, it's also so
Like
diluted.
that's
Like, I feel like the
yeah,
Pokemon scene is a lot more. There's like
not those TikTok lives.
yeah, yeah. The Pokemon TCG scenes I feel like pretty wide open. There's a lot of like I would say there's not even a whole lot of content creators. There's like a group of them, but it's like 10 or like yeah,
Yeah,
but definitely wide
it's just
open.
hard because those 10 are all really good. Because it's
Yeah,
like you, Azul, Omnipoke, Zapdos, Tricky Gym, like those are the main ones. And then of course like the Uncommon Energy podcast with Azul and Chip.
yep.
And
You got like
then
LDF and things like
Kieran,
that. Yeah, Kieran makes
right?
great
That's how you
content.
pronounce his name.
Yes, Kieran Fire. They make
Kieran's
fantastic.
videos are really good.
Yeah,
But like all that stuff, like it's kind of like the issue, quote unquote, with like also the niche that I put myself into in Smash, where it's like I'm just going to talk about like high level stuff. It's just like, well, if you're bad or new, you're not really going to watch that stuff and understand. And it's only the people that are specifically looking for that analysis. But how many people are looking for the analysis over just I want to watch the finals?
yeah,
Um,
it's very
it's
true.
it's tricky. It's hard. Because it's not like it's hard to translate like the hype of a moment in a card game unless you know the card game, right? Like I'm sure there could literally be a 15-minute video talking about how crazy I'm probably going to do this actually because it kind of just came to me. Like I'm sure there could be like a 15-minute video of why Henry Chow's research was like so insane earlier in the season. Like that was
Yeah,
the like
you can go back to like
dude,
all the sequencing and stuff that he did, throughout it to like get to that point, which is why I
yeah.
think Pokemon's so interesting. Yeah,
But like at the same time, again, talking about like sequencing and stuff, it's going to lose a lot of people because they're gonna be like, I just want to see the cool thing.
yes,
But like I remember watching like me and my wife were gonna watch the finals because again they play Gardevoir. So I was like, okay, we're gonna watch, and she was busy for a little bit, so she missed the entire like 35-minute Badoo war that happened game one.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then
that
game
was
two
so
was super
crazy.
fast,
Yeah, game 2 was
and
quick, and then game 3 was probably pretty quick too because they were running out of time. Came down to time, I remember.
it was literally in time. Like
Yes, yeah,
Henry won in time. Like I think
uh,
game three started in time. So it
yeah.
was literally like turn one, turn two, rare candy Polt, the crazy like night stretcher candy everything for Henry. Or maybe there was like one additional turn, but
Yeah.
insane.
No, definitely. Someone said OGs remember Jay Witz was a TCG YouTuber. Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know,
Yo, I met him at fighting game tournaments.
yeah, super cool guy. I've heard.
He's very nice.
Also, people like Dan TDM actually go to Pokemon tournaments sometimes to play. They played at EOIC a couple times. That's something that some people don't know is that Dan started in Pokemon a long time ago, and he actually goes to the IC or he goes to EOIC specifically. I don't know if he'll be going to Worlds, but he has actually competed in multiple tournaments, and he has like 20 million subscribers on YouTube. One of the most famous Minecraft YouTubers in history. So yeah, and then it's cool to see. It's very cool to see a lot of like players also like from other games or like big figures coming over. Like I mean, who is it? The Anthony Fantano. Yeah, you. Like the Anthony Fantano's playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Leon
Two
Hart
bald
plays in
guys.
tournament. Yeah, exactly. Like Leon Hart, plays in some tournaments sometimes. And I think that's really cool.
The game is so fun, and Pokemon's obviously like the most accessible IP on the on the hecking planet.
You're good.
Sorry, I got too casual, so I was just like, this is how I normally talk. Everyone knows Pokemon. People that don't know Pokemon know Pokemon.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's the thing is like it's so funny because I'm not the biggest fan of like the games because if I want to play an RPG, I want characters, not pets.
Yeah.
So like I literally haven't finished a mainline Pokemon game since second gen because I'm old. So like I haven't played any of them, so I vaguely know all these Pokemon because I watch VGC as well because I've been a VGC watcher for like over 10 years probably. But TCG, quite literally, the first tournament I watched for TCG was World last year.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good time to watch, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Get, like,
Iron Thorns, baby.
Yeah.
That's all I watched was Iron Thorns.
All right, just give me 1 second.
was-
I just need to quickly reset my Discord here, and I will be right back. It's like 30 seconds.
Bye.
All right. Okay, there you go. I started dragging you. Sorry, I had to
Yeah,
fix
no,
some,
you're fine.
I had to fix something here quickly. Yeah, it looks like one more judge call just finishing up. Like Owen's taking care of that, and yeah, we got 2 more minutes until the next round. How many rounds are you doing today? Are you gonna do 4 or 5, or what are you thinking of?
I'll probably go until like 9:30, so like
Okay,
2 more at least.
sure.
Because again, I also gotta go watch Game Changer. I don't know if you're subscribed to Dropout.
Yeah.
Uh, I gotta. It's so D&D content is so good, but Game Changer is like one of the funniest and like most inventive game shows ever.
Oh, really?
Um, the game changes every show.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very cool. For a Twitch sub price, you'd get like a ridiculous amount of content. Um, so they have videos every other Monday, or episodes. I shouldn't say videos.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so I gotta
Have you
watch
ever
that
watched
with my
Games Done
wife.
Quick before? That's that's a pretty
Yeah,
popular.
I went to a
thing.
GDQ
Oh,
the
that's
year
cool.
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
I was actually a speedrunner technically.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I like those group things where like they have like the big like convention and there's like the group like people. Yeah. That's a cool.
Yeah. No, GDQ is just super cool. Like it's a very friendly community, of course, good causes. But yeah, I did a speed run of there's a fighting game called Dive Kick, which is literally 2 buttons. So like normally fighting games have like 6 to 8 buttons that like all do something, and like directions and like sure you can inputs and fireball inputs. And this game has jump kick, and it's 2 buttons. So me and my friend raced on DK bongos.
Oh my gosh. That is.
We
Cool.
basically just clouded our way into being like on the thing, and we were in like a silly block because my friend had worked with GDQ before, I think, and had done his own charity event. And then I was like, well, I'm down to do this with you. And we kind of just submitted it like as a half joke, and we didn't really expect to get in. And then we got in, and we were like, oh my god, wait, what? So we we had to like actually grind and practice because it felt fair. I barely lost. I was very upset.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good time. I mean, just obviously there's a lot of there can be a lot of negativity in gaming, but one of the things I like about Pokemon too is there's very little of it. It is generally a very kind and very good scene.
Yes, that's like one of the basic, like that's like one of the biggest things. It's like pretty much most of the top players who like you talk to, or just like the community figures, all like for the most part very nice, and that's like cool to see because I know in some games it's not like that. So it's a very united community. That's like one thing that's important. It's very very united on creators and people and just like overall stuff in the community, and it's like events are so fun. Like a big reason, like I obviously travel because I love to compete, but a big reason also is I just
Are you
love
full-time
hanging with
Pokemon?
people.
I forget.
Yes, yeah, currently.
Okay.
That's how I make my income. But I love like the ability to connect with people and meet new people, and yeah, it's a great community. But
And there's 3,000 people at every event.
It's crazy
Just in
how big-
Masters.
It's crazy how big these have gotten. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, we got the next round up here. Let's head over to number 18. Not a too far drag for you, so I'll drag you over here. All right, good luck, Elliot. That is the person who will be playing here.
He's playing Toad Screw.
Yes, we are watching the big toad.
Unload the Toad.
Yes, interesting decks today. Seems like Toad's been getting a lot more hype recently. All right, let's hop over to it.
I mean, beating Grimmsnarl is kind of nice. Plus, you have a decent Guardy matchup as well, and then you can stop the spread of Phantom Dive. Like, I know that's a losing matchup still, but like, I think it's a losing matchup supposedly. I don't remember. I've talked to people about it, but
it's close. Yeah. All right, yeah, we got Elliot here. Elliot's a pretty consistent player who's able to make day 2. They made day 2 at NAIC actually with this deck.
Ray Chen's runs are still insane. How they do that?
Yes, they actually I think played the same deck with Ray Chen. They're actually I believe Elliot and Ray Chen are both locals up in the Seattle area. And I believe they played exact same 60 and worked a little bit on the list here. So if anyone knows how to play Toad Scroll, it's going to be Elliot. So we'll see how this goes against Gardevoir, which is admittedly one of this deck's, I would say, scarier matchups for sure. It looks like they're going up against Vinicius here.
I feel like Screamtail is at the very least not super effective in this matchup because I think the Toad Squirrels will generally have enough health to withstand a Roaring Scream, and then of course you cannot do it to Ogre Pawns. Also, like not being able to Night Stretcher stuff back. Wait, can you, if you have Toad Squirrel, can like the baby Toad Squirrel, like not the EX one, can you use Psychic Embrace?
What do you mean? Oh, yes, yeah, because it says you can't use trainers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, wait.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Why is this matchup bad? I understand.
You know, actually, the Screamtail is okay if they bench Squawk ability, but if they don't, it doesn't come up as much as you would like. Usually attacking with, like, Gardevoir. I mean, sometimes you just have to Screamtail, but, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here. The big thing is, like,
are they going to put down the Squawk?
Yeah, it's like, can you avoid doing that? I think they might just put it down. Because the problem is if you research and you don't find a Toad Scroll, you're just kind of screwed. So they might want to put down the Squawk and then research first, and that practically guarantees they'll get what they need here. Yeah, and I mean, they already drew into it, I guess. So who needs Squawk? They basically drew into what they needed.
Yeah, and 3 Ralts currently down on Vinicius's side, so you don't necessarily have to worry about this 1 Ralts going down. I'm not even sure if you should really focus on it if you are, like, you know, to energy switch onto that Ogre Pawn with 3 energy. I don't think that would necessarily be worth it. 3 Toad Schools now. Mew EX, energy switch. There's a lot that this can do, but I don't think this turn is the turn to do it. I lied. They're going for it.
I think they're just saying this matchup is rough to begin with. I'm just going to try and literally run them over. I think that's their entire strategy here. If they respond with Rare Candy Gardevoir Dark Energy plus Miracle Force KO, your board just collapses in some ways, but
they also still have the Squawk ability.
That's crazy. They haven't used it yet. This person is cooking. Oh my gosh, they're already through half of their deck. They're already into the 20s. Yeah, that's the power of Toad Scroll. If you're able
to... button catching set.
Yeah, that's the power of this deck if you're able to get it fully going, right?
Yeah, good point. I don't know if you hold these, because like if they Iono you, you have the ability to draw into your Toad Scrolls. And you also have one in hand, I just noticed. The baby one at the very least, to get rid of those Night Stretchers.
Yeah, so we'll just see the Teal Dance, or not Teal Dance, the Teal
Myriad the Shower.
The Myriad, and pretty much just saying, do you have the answer?
That boss is huge.
Yeah, boss is pretty big. This is kind of the deck that asks, the questions, and, Gardevoir is the deck that always tries to have the answer. Do you have, this piece or this piece? So this is going to be a big turn here. This is probably going to be the one that determines largely who is favored in this game. If Gardevoir misses again, and, Toad Squirrel's able to go up by 2 prize cards, it can kind of keep up with the prize race. On top of this, the Artisan kind of helps the Toad Squirrel here, because they're able to just dump their Squawk, and that's a huge liability for one of those 1 prizers. So maybe it's a necessity to put it down, but it doesn't feel good to do that.
Yeah, for sure. That's always one of the biggest questions, is just like, how do you punish the Squawk ability play? And if you can't, they just got 6 extra cards for free, which is a lot. Like, especially like this hand is ridiculous. And they're going for the Cleffa. That does not look promising. Retreating this Ralts with the energy. Yeah. Okay. And I don't know at the very least. But I think they should have waited to Artisan then if they were going to just Iono. Because now if they have a Dark Energy, they're going to be biting themselves. There's a Fez. So you do get an additional 3 cards with that Flippy Scrippy. That is the official name of the ability, by the way. Don't look at the card.
Scrippy. Yeah, I don't look at the card. Yep, 100%. I remember there was a attack that there was a Pokemon that some people would say Flippity Flap. It was Flying Flip, the attack, and some people would say Flippity Flap instead.
I like
old
that.
Tapu Koko back in the day. Yeah, they thought it was a funny name. But yeah, well,
energy attach already came down, so there's no ability to get a knockout. You're just going into the Cleffa. There's 7 cards, so Grasping Draw doesn't even do anything. You're just hoping that this Toad Scroll player does not have the a boss's order, which technically right now they don't.
Yeah, they don't have necessarily a boss. They don't also have Area 0, which I think definitely want to get down eventually, because they can't KO Gardevoirs without that. So it's very important.
What a research rip.
It's a good top deck. Looks like they're going to sequence here first by using this, just to maximize their chance of finding the Toad Scrolls, which is what they're looking for. There are 2 different Toad Scrolls. There's the EX that deals a lot of damage, and then there's the other one that blocks things like Night Stretcher, which could potentially be very important in this matchup, as, Gardevoir is a deck that very notoriously likes to use those Night Stretchers to get those pieces back into the hand that they need.
Gonna evolve into that Toad Scroll. We do have, yeah, not gonna go into the Teal Dance, not gonna give themselves the boss's orders potentially. It wasn't the next card anyway, so it didn't really matter. Prime Catcher, though, that can get rid of the Curlia at the very least. And energy switches as well to get multiple energy onto different Pokemon, because I believe that's how the Toad Scroll does damage, right? Is however many grass energies you have on different things.
Yeah, so it does 80 plus 40 more for each for each Pokemon with a grass energy. Oh, and we're seeing the.
So they're gonna be able to KO that
Whoa.
Fez. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is not great for them. They're considering not evolving. I think you definitely just evolve here because you're just now prize racing. You should be able to win this prize race. I think evolving is correct here.
Well, still 3 turns, so I understand not wanting to, because maybe you'll get the whatchamacallit, the other Toad Scroll,
yeah.
and potentially, yeah, lock off that the Night Stretchers.
Yeah, Night Stretchers.
Sorry, a lot of cards. Words are hard.
Yeah, so many different cards in Pokemon.
And there's 8 cards right now in Vinicius's hand, so more than likely is going to have a Gardevoir in hand. I think there's only like 2 energy, though, in the discard. There's not a lot.
Yeah, so it's like you can get Gardevoir and Punch here. That might be your best play, and just say, if you KO me, I'm in a bad spot, but if not, I take 4 prize cards, and I can win the prize trade. The thing about this is that since there is no Area 0 that is in play, this Toedscruel is not able to one-shot. So, Elliot's going to need to find one of his 3 Area 0, I believe, in deck, and there already is one in the discard pile. So
2, actually. He drew 1 before the research.
Oh, there's 2. Oh, yeah, there's 2. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so this is becoming a little bit tricky. Yeah, if I'm the Gardevoir player, you probably just punch here with EX because you're already behind. So using like little this might also work, but using little Pokemon doesn't feel great because those are Pokemon that Elliot can actually knock out here, and that basically gives him more turns to find the pieces. Like, so it means he doesn't have to find the areas.
Monkey Dory. Had Monkey Dory Dark, or had an Artisan, could have Monkey Dory Dark Energied.
Yeah, I probably would have attacked with Guardy here. I definitely
so many things are happening.
Yeah, so much is happening. The TMs are flying. We see TM Energize.
Did he I mean, I don't know if he found, or they, because I guess we don't know. We don't know if they even found the Guardy or the Ultra Ball or anything. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's gonna go for another Grasping Draw. That is unfortunate here. Went through a lot of cards to have no Guardy. Are they both prized? There's the Area 0 top deck. We're about to go crazy with it.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, you kind of have to wonder because it's like they have 19 cards in deck and they've not played an Ultra Ball and they've also not played a Gardevoir, which means there should be 6 cards that they could have drawn.
We're gonna Iono first instead of putting down the Area 0. I don't like that. I mean, they're basically just looking for an energy, I guess, for the Toedscruel attack.
I think what they're saying is that since they're one-shotting a 1-prizer, they don't want to put Area 0 in play because if they go Gardevoir bump Area 0, then there's no Area 0 left on the board. So I think what they're doing, I think the thought process is I'm just going to save it for when I need to actually one-shot because normally these Gardevoir lists play 2 Artisan. So that might be what they're thinking here.
Yeah, and that boss could be influential if this Guardy player Night Stretchers for Fez, if they put down a Mew EX, which I don't think you would do at this point. You just have to hope that they don't have the ability to run over a Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Because again, 220 is the maximum amount of damage currently that you can do specifically with the Gardevoir, which I think is definitely the best route.
Yeah, I think at this point we're just Guardy EXing and praying here. I mean, like you have a couple options. What you could do here is you could go Gardevoir, hit for 250, and then if Elliot misses, then you can go retreat into Drifloon, counter catcher up like, for example, the other Toedscruel, and then use Monkey Dory, put 20 onto the Toedscruel with 250 on it, knock it out, and then Drifloon Bravery Charm knock out the Toedscruel that has full HP, and you just win the game instantly. So I wouldn't say instantly, but you put yourself in a good spot. But it's just going to come down if those pieces exist here. I mean, we're going to see the 2 Monkey Dory.
We have the Bravery Charm.
Oh, we might just KO the active here. I don't think you can attack with the... so, like, attacking with Drifloon here is, like, kind of iffy because you just basically hand Elliot another 1 prize. And
then they just need anything. And
then they win the game with Boss's Orders at any point. Or finding, like, Area 0 plus enough. I probably would have attacked with Gardevoir here. But... this is like fine.
It's understandable, right? Because you're just like, oh, well, if they find
makes
the
sense.
things, I just lose. Like,
Yes,
we get it.
Yeah, it's like you lose to different things now, basically. But at least the Gardevoir player has a chance. Like this, like the
Did they
door has
discard the
swung
Iron
open.
Leaves, or is it in deck? That's my question.
That's a good question. I think it is in the discard.
I know they saw it, but I don't remember if they Iono'd it.
I think it's in the discard. Yeah, it's in the discard.
Yeah. Oh, and research. Damn, this guard is going crazy. I feel like they made a really committal play to then play research.
Yeah, you probably should have just you probably should have just researched first before you fully committed to this. But it's, if they already are locked in, it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can put the other 30 damage here from that Gardevoir onto probably. Oh, I guess they're choosing. Oh, it's only 10 actually, right on the bench. They're choosing to save it here.
Yeah, they only did 2 to retreat.
Yeah, that makes sense here in this situation.
Put up that Latias for that free retreat to be a little bit less committal. We do have that Artisan. We have another Grass Energy. Honestly, do you Super Rod that Iron Leaves back into the deck? Because that can be your out later.
Yeah,
gonna go for Iron Leaves, Mew, 1 energy. Because there's only 2 in the discard. There's actually not a lot of energy in the discard at all.
Yeah, pretty much just saying here that, okay, all of those cards are good to draw into, right? It's like, Grass Energy is good to draw into, Mew is good to draw into, and also Iron Leaves is also good to draw into. So, this
Boss's Order's a monkey here?
I think
or
probably
or Iono.
I think it's probably good to boss here. And the reason is that if that Drifloon attacks next turn, you just announce the Myriad Leaf Shower and win the game. So you can work around this turn, I think, pretty safely. Just because if you get rid of one of the monkeys, then there's no threat of 3 Monkey Dory, Iono to 1 KO Toadscruel, right? So you protect that big EX play potentially and force them to have Counter Catcher Iono plus that. So
wait, how many energy do they have in discard? I was thinking low key just get the Guardian active if there wasn't enough energy.
I think there's enough because they've researched, and I think they used Vessel as well last turn. So
That's true.
They should have plenty of stuff.
Always got to think on your feet against Guardy, because if they put too much energy on board, and they grabbed the grass off the prizes, that is so what they needed, because now you need another Iono to 1. When they've used a couple of Ionos already, I'm pretty sure Vinicius has. They've gone through a lot of their resources, but
yeah, they're a pretty small deck, only 9 left, which means they should they either don't have the resources everything, or it should be very easy for them to find the resources. It's one or the other. And there's Screamtail. This doesn't do a whole... Yeah, honestly, it might just have to be... Okay, the problem with benching Screamtail here is that you don't have room for second monkey, so maybe they don't have the resources for that here in this situation. But
or they know it's prized or something. There's the Iono.
Yeah. Because you really want to attack with EX here. You attacking with Screamtail is so risky because you lose to an energy. But
I have to find that energy.
It could just be Drifloon KO. Honestly, if I'm this Gardevoir player, just Drifloon KO and hope. Maybe it works.
Yeah, they need to put 1 energy somewhere to get the extra 30 damage onto the Toadscruel, because it's only 240 right now off that Drifloon. Now it's going to be the big 300.
Just comes down to energy. Is Elliot able to find that final grass energy here to use Myriad Leaf Shower? Iono to 1, one of the best comeback cards printed, and Gardevoir kind of the king of games looking terrible into looking actually manageable.
It can also be a bug catcher set. It can be a research. Iono doesn't really help you see 1 extra card. Do we find it?
Oh,
boss,
no.
Not gonna do it.
You can boss the EX. Oh, there's only 1 psychic in the discard pile, so you can boss EX here and potentially trap.
I hope they don't have the second one.
I think there's only 1. I could be wrong. Twitch chat, if they saw it, or YouTube can correct me, but I thought I saw there was only 1 in there. Also, on top of it too, I don't think there's enough energy for that Screamtail to snipe for game. So
I mean, they're just going to keep the Latias inactive, because whether they retreat it, Screamtail... I mean, yeah, I guess the Screamtail would be harder. But if they get that Drifloon in the active, they simply win. So if they have an energy in... if they have an energy in their hand, there's the Vessel. If they have it in deck...
Could they have retreated into... Oh, actually, I guess it wouldn't really have mattered that much, but you could have retreated... Yeah,
because if they get the Drifloon, they win anyway.
Yeah. I was like, I guess you could have retreated into the other Toadscruel or Badoo, but then you just get monkeyed if you get Badooed. And
yeah, maybe they should have artisaned for
Commoner Gone. I assume all of them are gone, Shadow Seeker. I think they were all
That's fair.
gone, or else they would not have done that. I think so. Yeah. Wow, that was a
Unfortunate, because they also did have the out of the Iron Leaves because there would have been enough energy to transfer, but a little too small, a little too late. That
yes.
Ionida one is ruthless. Even grabbing the energy off the prizes, you feel so confident, and then suddenly it's no longer.
Yeah. Very true, very true. But yeah, anyways, looks like Gardevoir going up to 4-0. Elliott falling down to 3-1. Still very respectable start there. Just got to win the next 4 to be able to ID most likely into cut. It's looking like 7-1-1 will be enough for top cut. However, there might be a 7-2 that squeaks in. We never know. See what ends up happening. But anyways, yeah, next week we might do, or I guess actually in 2 weeks. I've been trying to figure out, because these events are getting so big. Maybe you have some advice here about how many rounds. Currently we have 9 rounds and then cut to asymmetrical. So what I'm thinking potentially is if we're getting 700 players, maybe we do like 9 rounds plus like a very small 2 for phase 2 into cut to asym. I'm just trying to figure out, because I don't think I'm going to cap these events because I want to see how big we can get them. But I am taking suggestions on what's the best method. Maybe top 32 cut, that's another thing. But some people will get pissed because they'll be like, oh, I went 9-0 and I got top 32 because I lost in top cut. Things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm not sure on.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for sure. Like, there's so many people, so like you don't want to disappoint to be like, actually, not everyone can join, but then also it runs so late.
Yeah. Let's see. What record do you need to be streamed? Any record. Any record can be streamed.
Like, how late did the first one go?
I think 11 or 12 my time, so about 3. it's like
Damn.
yeah, no, it's like hard because if we're running on weekdays, so like this is my logic, okay? If we run it on weekdays, that's like when I think most people are home, because a lot of people like on weekends, for example, like have cups or challenges or things like that. So that was one thing, and then running it at like 6 p.m. is like kind of the easiest time I feel like for people, because like most people are home after work at that point. Because I considered running it like at 4 or 5, but like if I like
Even East Coast people won't be they'll still be at work.
yeah, 6 or 6:30 are like the times, because like if people get off work at 5, I can't run it at 5. Really, even 5:30 as well, because it's hard for people to get home sometimes in 30
Get home,
minutes.
eat.
So yeah, exactly. So like I might at this point start it at 6. It gives people an hour. Yeah, someone asked if Benny was playing the same list he played at NAIC. I don't know. I believe so. So yeah, just trying to figure out the easiest time. I know plenty of EU people are like, run an EU event. I don't got it in me to start my Mondays at like 8 a.m. in the morning and go from 8 to 11. However, maybe at some point we reach that, and I'm crazy enough to do that, but I need my sleep. And ECM as well needs their sleep too. So, yes.
Admittedly, I can just leave. I'm not the one streaming it.
Yeah, exactly. You can hang out whenever you want, but yeah. What about splitting in half at some number? Like running 2 pods? That's potential. I think the easiest way to do it is like, run. It was 1:30 a.m. on the East Coast last one. It's almost impossible to make it.
You do
work
best
for
of
everyone.
3 top cut or no?
I do best of 3 top cut.
Oh,
Yeah, but like people would get more pissed if it was best of 1 top cut. So
that's fair.
maybe what we'll do is maybe we'll try and start. Yeah, we'll start 6:30 next time. We could run like 8 rounds and then 2 rounds of ASIM. Or not 2 rounds of ASIM. 2 rounds of phase 2. And like you have to go 6-2 to make phase 2, and then ASIM would be 8-2, I don't know how many people. I don't know. I need to like see if I can get like a tournament generator and like just generate tournaments to try and figure out
Figure out
like,
the right number.
yes, figure out exactly the right number, something that actually works.
Yeah.
That'll probably be what we're trying to do. Maybe best of one in ASIM would help. Yeah, we could do best of one in ASIM. Honestly, I could potentially just change that right now and make ASIM best of one. Let me message my judge because it gets really long.
They probably don't do it
Yeah,
since you already
I guess we can do
started
it,
the tournament.
I guess we can do it, yeah, like next week. The week after, yeah. I'm just writing this down. Next week, we might want to make some video one.
Yeah, while you're here, everyone, while Gabe is messaging mods and judges, don't forget to follow the channel. Consider checking your Twitch Primes to subscribe to the Smart TCG series. You get benefits such as emotes and sub badges, because everyone has those, and I don't know what else you do.
Yeah, that's always important. You know, getting ad-free viewing.
Oh, true.
Yes, that's always the
and then,
big
of
one.
course, yeah. I do like, honestly, Twitch finally did a good thing where they have, like, the ads pop up in, like, the corner instead of the entire video sometimes. So nice.
Yes.
God bless. And then if you're on the YouTube channel, of course, don't forget to subscribe. It's free. You get notified when he puts on the videos if you click that bell icon, you know, for more TCG content. Because obviously, if you're here, you want to watch. So you might as well subscribe. Because did you know that like 30% of the people that watch my videos actually are the only people subscribed and 70% aren't subscribed? It's crazy. It is kind of weird that that's actually how it works, though.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting how so many people like your watch just don't click the button. It's free to do so, actually. You know, always know it's if you're ever you know, want to see more of, you know, like either of our content, just click that sub button or that follow button. It's free and, you know, helps us out. You know, so yeah, shout out ESAM. You know, I think all your socials and YouTube and all that stuff is I am ESAM, right? Or just ESAM?
Yep.
So it should be pretty easy to find.
If you look up ESAM Pikachu or ESAM Bald, you'll find me.
Yes.
Actually, if I look up ESAM Bald, do I find me?
ESAM Bald. It's funny.
ESAM Bald. Yeah. My channel is the first one. What is this video? Is it just a random gameplay video? I play Fortnite. Is this Fortnite or is it... This was a sponsored video for sure. I don't remember what that is. But it is me. So.
1 second.
I want to like get my tripod and like start filming events, like my locals and stuff. At the very least, my play. To either upload or just at the very least to review everything. That'd be nice. The last week was when I misplayed for sure against Charizard player. I went for a TM Devo 1 turn too early, and it didn't KO a Charmander they had in the back, and then they just had a Charizard at the end of the game, and I'm like, I can't kill you in 1 hit.
Really?
Then I lost. Instead of just like instead of hitting it again with a Shadow Bullet, get 30 extra damage onto that Charizard, and then TM Devo everything for KO. So I messed up. And that would have been a bench clear. So
yeah, I think with Grimmsnarl is like learning to like you have to look pretty far ahead into the game. That's like the big thing is like to try and set up those Devo plays. Like I've had some games where like I was not expecting to do like very well, and then this Devo comes out of nowhere and stuff. But yeah,
like... it's an insane card in this meta.
Yes.
And then if it's not a matchup user, you just discard it off of a secret box, or you Arvin for secret box and TM Devo, and then discard it with secret box.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So yeah, next round we should be coming up here shortly. I already found our match here. We're gonna be streaming Charizard Pidgeot, Sirik123321. Playing Charizard Pidgeot here. So our first Charizard of the day. We saw Charizard do quite well last time. I believe there was one that made it into top 8. There were a couple I think that did quite well. Okay. So yeah, we'll see the continued resurgence of Charizard. Continued resurgence of the Zard. Taking a look here also at the meta game, it looks like Gardevoir 131 and 142. So relatively, I guess, average, kind of what you would expect. Grimmsnarl as well. Both of the top two decks kind of hovering around that 50%, 45-50%. But we see Pure Dragapult, the deck that Tord Reklev used to top 4 at NAIC, seeing quite a bit of success at 53%, the highest win rate out of the most popular decks in the room. And then there is a big surprise here of the 9 Archaludon. Their overall record is 18-8. That is surprising, seeing that.
69% win rate. That is a lot.
Yes.
There's also the Sinistcha must be doing pretty well because that is a 60% win rate as well.
Yeah.
Roaring Moon has a 2/3 win rate. Slow King is 7-2 with 2 people. How do you even do that? Oh no, there's 3 people. So they each. So wait, what?
Let's see, wait, Slow King. Wait a minute, we gotta take a look at this here. Slow King is.
There's a 3-0 and 2-2-1s.
Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. So funny enough,
Slow King is such a cool deck.
Yes, at Portland Regionals, I went 9-2-1, but one of my 2 losses was to Slow King. I was playing Gardevoir, and they got the Kieran play off both times, and I was like,
Yep.
oh, I can't do it.
And you're just like, oh, I lose. There's
exactly.
3 of my Ralts dead.
Yes.
Okay, GG's.
That is exactly what ended up happening.
Impossible to come back from.
Yeah, it is. It was very, very funny to watch. That is for sure.
Academy of the Night is such a funny card. I know some people are running it in Miraidon as well to guarantee at least 1 off of Generator. If you have the energy, like you Levincia 2 back, you put down your Academy of the Night, you bop, and you get 1 guaranteed. Very funny.
Yes.
My cat is trying to get my attention because it is their food time.
It is their food
I'm
time.
not
Well,
gonna
you're more
feed
welcome
you
to
right
go
now.
give their food. Go
It's
deal
fine.
with that.
She can be patient.
I need to get.
If I randomly disconnect, it's because she walked on my keyboard or something.
Oh, okay. Has that ever happened when you're recording or streaming? Have you ever had where
Yeah,
she, like,
recording
pulls
for
the
sure.
plug?
She's just got in the way of the camera, and I'm just like, sick, thanks. She's doing it right now. It's just the webcam doesn't matter.
That's funny.
Like she'll also like when me and my wife are like watching a movie on a laptop, like in bed, she'll just like walk on the laptop when she wants attention, and
Yep.
we're just like, hi, please stop,
But it's so hard to get mad at them, right? That's like the thing. It's
because
like
they're so cute.
Yes, exactly. Very hard to get frustrated at. Cats. Got 1 judge call.
I'm gonna check in on how Azul's doing.
Yeah, see what is.
Record is 4-0. With that Zard Pidgeot, I believe you said.
Yes. Looks like there's 2 more calls here as the round just finished. Always at the end of the round, there's like calls that come out, especially with 700 players. Normally, as the events goes on, there's a little bit less and less. Like a lot of the time, what happens is once you get to like just like most of the top players, they kind of know, and it becomes easier. But at the beginning, you have a lot of newer players who are trying to figure out things, and it's very hard to judge online events. That's actually one thing that I wanted to mention for anyone watching, is that it is very difficult, for example, to, let's say, deal with slow playing. The easiest way, if you're trying to fix or like you have a judge ruling and you're saying your opponent's slow playing, is just show the judge a photo of the timers in the Discord. That's all you have to do, because if one person is at 2 minutes and the other person is at 15 minutes, there's obviously a big enough time difference to say the opponent is taking an unreasonable amount of time to complete their action. So just for anyone that knows, if you're ever like having a slow play issue, which is the #1 issue that pops up, just send a photo in the judge part of the Discord server of the timers, and if it's at an unreasonable amount of time, then it is up
Like
to
hell.
judge's discretion. So it's always something to remember. Let me just actually put that in here.
That's also the advantage of playing Miraidon at these tournaments, is your games can go so fast because you either insta lose or you just hands them 3 times, and you're like, cool, awesome, sick.
Yep.
What do you think of Tim Danklin's suggestion to
I saw
price
it.
check on your opponent's turn?
I think it's fine. I don't really care. I just don't know if Pokemon will allow it or not. I think it's okay. I mean, like, I
I think it's more so just like, oh, I'm gonna do my final search. Go. I'm gonna price check now.
The number
Is
one
like
thing,
the theory.
yeah, like the number one thing to fix, the whole issue behind price checking is just allow both players to look at their prize cards, write them down, and shuffle. For example, like if you look at, let's say, VGC, they literally hand each other team sheets, so you know like what they're playing and like what attacks they have, right? So it's like it's not like gaining information like that should be considered illegal. Now, obviously, VGC is different, right? But
you can also literally you can determine all 6 of your prize cards. It just takes 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yes. You could also hypothetically figure out just like all the Pokemon that they're playing too, and like what they're playing, but it just takes time. It's just all tedious. It's like prize checking is not really, I think, a skill in a way of like Pokemon. It's just a tedious thing you need to get good at. So I guess it's technically a skill. But
I definitely practiced it before my first tournament because I like had my deck and I would just shuffle, grab my deck, put the 6 prize cards, and then just be like, how fast can I do this?
Yeah.
But it would definitely be easier to just be able to look at your prizes and then have like your opponent shuffle them so that it's not like you can manipulate them. Or like mandatorily be like, okay, you have to take your prizes in this order. So that way you look at your like you look at the top 2 prizes, put them down, top like middle 2 prizes, put them down, bottom 2 prizes, put them down. But like I know that's not necessarily exactly correct because then you can plan what you can do based on your prize cards, like exactly where they are. Hence why like when you heavy balled, you would have to shuffle them. But I think that would help things a lot, especially considering how many ties there are. Unless Pokemon likes there being ties, which maybe they do given their new 2025 +1 turn thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think that one of the things also is that TCG Live makes it so easy to prize check. So like when people transition over to Pokemon in real life, they're like, oh, wait a minute, this is way harder to do than on TCG Live, right? So that's always one thing that I feel like people kind of struggle with, is that transition over from, TCG Live into in real life. So I always, like recommend, if you have the time, before an in real life tournament, just sit down with your deck and try and prize check and time it as well. Like time your.
It's literally what
check.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And just be like, okay, can I prize check at least half of my prize cards in about a minute? That should be your goal. Don't put the pressure on yourself, by the way, to prize check all 6 of your prize cards. I'm hearing
that takes forever.
Yes, exactly.
Especially like when you have to go into like, oh, you're running 4 Nest Ball and all your supporters. Like I never prize check for supporters. Maybe I prize check specifically for boss. But like as a Miraidon player, it's like I'm gonna check my Pokemon, I'm gonna check my energy, I'm gonna check my generators and boss, and like that's all I do.
Yes, exactly. Yo, On Guard, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it. Hope your tournament went well. Top 8 and Sunny's with you.
Hi, Cole.
Isn't that your local? Isn't Cole your local judge?
Yeah, he's the guy that runs one of my locals.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
We have huge ass locals. We had like I stopped going to Cool Stuff, which is the local, on Tuesdays, mostly because just like Tuesdays or like Thursdays are a better day for me to go to tournaments. But like that tournament gets like 50 people and then like 9 juniors. And we're like, what?
It's crazy, good community.
Yeah. And then the one I go to on Thursdays, we've had 6-round tournaments for the past like month.
Yep. All right, we got a round. Let's go up to stream channel number 1. I will drag you and we'll hop in there.
Wait, Cole, did you lose in top 8 or are you in top 8 or what? Also, yeah, drag me. Whoa.
We're here.
I'm so mad they didn't put like the dun 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 like the basic Team Rockets theme.
Oh, the Team Rockets. Okay, so
or like the one that's in Pokemon Puzzle League, or I guess it's not the Team Rocket theme. It can be the To Be a Master song, which I think also is the Team Rockets theme, basically.
Yeah, one of the things that was weird was when they first made this update, I was like, what is this sound? Yeah, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, especially when you run the I'm just gonna grind to master rocket bomb poison Monkey Dory, Iron Lee, or nope, Iron. I always forget what it's called. Not Iron Crown, Iron Valiant.
Someone said, "Oh shit, who is this disembodied voice that has been to our locals?" A tad low compared to Ethan. Oh, I'll fix it.
No, I'm just loud.
Yeah, it might also just be Sam's. Yeah.
Hi, Wendy.
Turn down a
These are my
little,
lads.
bit. Hear it. It's the
So we're waiting for this round. This is round 5 now,
Yeah,
right?
round 5. Moving along quickly here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna do more than half
Yes,
of the
you got it. You got
Swiss
5 and
rounds.
9. That's good. I'm happy for you. I'm glad we were able to get this done. So, yeah, we have currently Sirik 1-2, 3-3-2-1 playing against Matthew 44. Both these players are 3-1, so very much in contention still for top cut. Crazy that table 77 is 3-1. Just shows how big this event is. And looks like Sirik will be playing Charizard Pidgeot, and we have Matthew here will be playing Dragapult Zoroark. Dragapult Zoroark is an archetype that Stefan used to place top 32 at the most recent North American International Championships.
Henry Brand's the one that made that, right?
And
But then he cowered it out and didn't run it.
He actually didn't end up playing. So he was planning
period.
to play. Yeah, I don't think he was feeling well. So
That's fair.
yeah.
I apologize for calling you a coward. I was misinformed.
All good. But yeah, looks like they're starting here. Just adding them, always the thing that takes a little bit of time. And yeah, we'll hop into it here. See how it goes.
Charizard Pidgeot, the OG, back in business. I think, didn't Tord win a regional this year, like this season technically, with this deck, or am I thinking of the wrong person?
No, Tord didn't win a regional this year. Actually, this was one of the. I think Tord got.
And people call him the best. That's crazy.
I know. I think people expect so much from him. That's like the one thing. Is like once.
No, in a game like card games, it's impossible to be like that consistent. I mean, he did really well this season. Obviously.
Oh yeah. I mean, he got a second. He got multiple top cuts. But you have to be great at the game to win a regional, and you also have to get lucky too. Things have to go your way.
Yeah.
Like you have to win a coin flip that matters, or things like that, and you have to play great
What
too.
a first hand. Oh wait, no, I thought that was Charmander, not Charmeleon. I was like, that's a really good first hand. Well, this quality kind of. I didn't see who won the coin flip.
Was Gabriel Fernandez? He won NAC. Yeah, Charizard Pidgeot did.
No,
win
I'm talking
NAC.
about like early, like when like 3 straight regional finals were like Zard versus Terapagos.
Yeah. Well, I know Tord played Terapagos and got second at Gdansk, I believe, with the turtle. Lost Alberto Conti, playing Drago. The deck, yeah.
Price checking.
Yep, price checking, seeing exactly what they got here. Looks like this is the Brock.
Also, the one thing that was really hard in person, playing Grimmsnarl in person versus on live is so different because having to keep track of all your damage counters is so annoying.
It doesn't do it for you. You have to go like, okay, get a
it's so
dice, get a
annoying.
dice, get a dice, put it there.
I kept like
turn it,
moving
turn
my
it,
dice
turn it,
completely
turn it, turn it.
off my Pokemon, and then I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh
God.
wait, I need them again because of my Frostlass.
Yeah.
So funny.
It is really funny. All the dice are such a pain, yeah.
Wait, starting with Ends Reshiram, that's a really bad start for Matt 42840938.
Yeah, not ideal here. You definitely want to start with a couple Zoras to get those on the board. That's actually the one problem with Zoroark is that when it gets going, it's amazing. But you play a lot of junk in your deck to where sometimes it's not able to get going early game, which is my issue with it. It's like, in theory,
There's also no Dreepies down either.
Yeah, we'll see what they have here.
Hopefully a Buddy Buddy Poffin comes down. Otherwise, this is looking really bad considering there's a rare Candy Zard. Jacques, that's only looking for evolutions. That's not comfy. If they literally don't have anything, they just rare Candy Zard for game.
Yes.
Because you would just put the extra third energy onto the Pidgey, retreat it, or Arven for a rescue board, or literally anything. Hopefully Matt 42840938 has something, or he will be. This will be over in
He'll be extinct very
0.428400938 seconds.
Yes. I mean, like the only possibility is maybe he's just price checking, figuring out what he has in the hand. Which means maybe there's a Pokemon.
We do that with the
in the
Buddy
hand
Buddy
that
Poffin.
Yeah, that's true. We might see a pass. Oh no.
I think it's a pass.
He's thinking. Oh, there's an
Ultra Ball. Okay.
It still doesn't feel good
Thank
though, because the
God.
Charizard's gonna be pretty much ran down your throat here. But it's like not amazing.
Yeah, because right now we're gonna still. So for next turn, we're gonna get Arven, Poffin, get the Max Belt. Might as well put it on your smaller, your Charmanders. But yeah, this Zard's gonna be start doing a lot of damage because it's not even that's like one Zorua. It's not even like multiple. Or the Dreepy, whichever one he wants to go for, has to discard that Zoroark. This is looking. Oh yeah, gets the singular Dreepy. Okay, second Ultra Ball. Okay, not out of the woods, or not. Yeah, not over, but still not out of the woods. Rather is what I meant.
Yeah, we'll see the. I guess yeah, pretty good recovery for just jockeying and sitting there. I mean, to be fair, we know what the last two cards are. Right? It's a Zoroark and a Dracloak. So has a response.
Well, he discarded the Zoroark, so
oh,
it
wait,
might
yeah.
be
Dracloak something else then.
Oh, and he
Wow.
got the Pidgeot off of the top. Oh
That
my
is
god.
insane.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah, what a top deck here.
What an insane top deck. And now you Arvin, you rare candy that one.
still have Quick
probably
Search, too.
Pidgeot a Buddy Buddy Poffin. Yeah.
Now it's like, what do you do as Zoroark?
Good
It's-
God. How do you win this game at this point?
Yeah, like I mean, like Zoroark is kind of the deck where it can, use things like Darmanitan to take over the game early, but like when they fully get set up, it's like not amazing.
Two-stage 2 Pokemon immediately.
It's very threatening, yeah. So I think what the Zoroark player is going to have to do here is put them in a situation where they just force two shots and then just re-grab this Reshiram from the discard pile with something like Night Stretcher and try and use Powerful Rage to be able to one-shot after their Zoroark presumably gets hit. But
Yeah.
it's not looking great. There's no energy on
But
board.
with two
now.
cards, that's not a lot. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. We're going to need to see a research on Iono here quickly, or this is going to get very, very bad very, very quickly.
Oh, and we have the Dark Energy for a potential Monkey Dory next turn. Yikes. There's a Dracloak, so we're going to see two cards. We're not going to know what they are since we are watching the Charizard Pidgeot side, but this is looking really scary. There is obviously still a chance to win. We do have that Zoroark, so we now activate that trade ability. Okay, Iono. I mean, but that's honestly fine if you are the Charizard player because you're like, okay, ooh, getting two Fire Energy is not great.
Yeah, not amazing. I mean,
But
still
because you have
to
Quick
do
Search,
that.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like that's like one of the things is like Quick Search plus even like things like Fez make yourself pretty much Iono proof. To where you're always able to find something. But from this like situation here, how is the Zoroark actually going to be able to attack? Because if they use the Ends PP up here in this spot, they can't get the energy on Zoroark unless they play something like Energy Switch. Because Ends only works when you're on the bench. So
Yeah.
that's another problem too. So there's a potential you just take the hit here as Zoroark, let the Charizard smack you for 180, and then go like Stretcher, use the Reshiram, and then one-shot the Charizard, and then you actually have a prize lead. You're at 4 prize cards in there at 5 still. So if I'm Sirik here, what you probably want to do is gust around the Zoroark. You don't want to hit into it. You can use like a boss's orders to knock out the Dracloak here, and then maybe the next turn use boss's orders to knock out maybe the Pheasantipity, and then at that point,
Not
then you
Arvin.
one-shot. Yeah, gonna Arvin, not go for that.
Maybe just going to TM Evo up the two Charmanders?
I think playing slow here is great. I just don't know if it's great to attack into this because you're just gonna get recoiled back.
Yeah.
It feels pretty rough.
Yeah, because again, no Ends Pokemon is really bad. So yeah, I would definitely maybe even gust up this Pheasantipity. You're not going to knock it out, but you'll put it within range of a Monkey Dory snipe later. So I think you still get boss's orders here. What I think every Charizard deck should just run 4 boss's orders. I don't know. If you have Quick Search, you should just max out your copies of Gusting, in my opinion.
Oh, I wanted to give an update. There is a Charlie Queen is 4-0 with Slow King. I actually played Charlie in top 8 of Brisbane Regionals, so they're a quite strong player. And they're 4-0 with Slow King, which is amazing to see. So shout
Let's
out
go,
Charlie.
Slow King.
Yeah, shout out Charlie. That's gonna be a game when you're gone. I'll probably try and get on and watch.
Wow, you hate me. You don't want to show me Slow King. You just want to wait till after.
Yeah, then I'll show everyone the cool set now. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens here at Zoroark. Yeah, smartly just taking the turn off here. I completely agree with this from the Charizard player. Because if you hit, you actually go down in the prize trade, which kind of sounds crazy based off how dominant this start was. But I guess one of the few problems with Charizard is that Charizard sometimes lets decks back into game if you don't have the Dusknoir engine, just because you don't do a whole lot of damage early. So it's like you can get an explosive start, but you're not doing a ton of damage. Like I've had some games before where things have looked really bad, but they just don't do a crazy amount until the end of the game. So you can kind of manage that. And I think that that's what the Zoroark player is going to try and do here. is, you know, kind of manage that in this spot. But smartly, though, since he took the turn off, he got the Charmeleon on the board and is definitely in a much better situation than I think if he attacked. So
And he has that max belt, so he can max belt, then gust up that Pheasantipity to not allow the extra Reshiram damage. Because again, Dragapult's not really going to do that much, especially because you can just at any point put down a Monkey Dory. There's that Night Stretcher we were talking about. This Zoroark player is already only at 19 cards in deck. So you do the 170 here. But if you Monkey Dory damage off, that is not going to be enough for a knockout. Crystalling onto the Dragapult. Getting all of these tools onto these little dragons.
Yeah, so this gets a little scary actually for Charizard, because if Charizard decides to, if Sirikiri decides to use Charizard to hit into the active, what the Zoroark player can do is the Zoroark player can then go, okay, boss's orders, bring up Pidgeot, rage one-shot Pidgeot, and then that Charizard is still there with 170 waiting to get knocked out. So this is a very scary spot here because of that Reshiram looming and its ability to take the main consistency engine pretty much off the board very quickly, which would be not good. So yeah, if I'm Sirikiri, you definitely want to get either another Pidgey down quickly or get another Charizard in play, because you are running into a very, very shaky spot here if you hit this, which I think you might just have to.
Still hasn't used a supporter either.
Yeah, there's that too. Do you want to Iono? That's the question. Your hand is kind of good. You have max.
I mean, I feel like Iono versus Zoroark is almost also pointless because they're always going to draw a billion cards.
Yeah.
But also they have the Super Rod in deck, but they have 2 Fire Energy in hand is the problem. Is that's a lot of Fire Energy.
Yeah.
Do you TM? No, you can't TM Evil because then the Charizard ability won't activate because you have to evolve from hand. We're just gonna attack.
Yeah. Someone asked here, just wondering, what is a good number of big events to try and go to Worlds for a Worlds invite, and what is the estimate for cost for a season? The estimate simply depends where you fly out of and depending what airport you live close by. So it's incredibly difficult.
And then if you have any hotel points or anything.
Correct. Yeah. So like if you live near like Orlando, that's like a gold mine because all the flights there are so cheap. You know, like Dallas, Vegas. Well, yeah, there's like definitely like locations where it's easy, like cheaper to fly out of.
Chicago.
Yeah, you know, pretty much any of the.
If you want a full breakdown, I know that I don't know if you made this video, so I apologize if I'm recommending other people's content.
I think it was Rahul who made it. I think it was like Rahul who made a video. Yes, he made a video on how much he spent. But if you want to try and get your invite, you probably are going to need 5 or 6 majors at the very least.
Or be God.
Yes,
oh, we got that boss's orders. That's the exact play you talked about.
Yes, it's happening. Oh boy, this is not good.
Wow. I mean, if you get rid of this Pidgeot, you are gonna return KO with this Charizard, and then there's no, you have the Monkey Dory, so you're not going to get KO'd by.
Oh, it's true. Very, very
the
true.
Dragapult attack.
Yeah. So this monkey actually bails Sirik out here a little bit because yeah, you do get the KO.
Now you Iono for sure.
Yeah, but you probably get another
Pidgey.
Yeah, I guess getting Pidgey's okay here. I mean, it is just gonna get. I don't know how much I like doing that because it just gets KO'd this next turn. You basically just gave the Dragapult player like another free prize card, so that's like very risky here. I'm not sure. So my apologies for the stream quality for this one. This person's computer is a little bit slower.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault. We'll find someone with better quality next time. 1 hour and 30 minutes from Milwaukee. That's kind of a iffy airport to fly out of.
But you have a regional.
Yeah, you do have a regional each year.
So 240 is going to knock out this Reshiram. You're going to have that Fez draw. There's no additional draw support with Zoroark because there's no Zorua in play. However, you do, of course, have this potential Dragapult coming up with the Crystal, so it's already ready to attack. I don't know how you get the extra 20 damage on, though, unless they also have Monkey Dory, in which case, GG, they got it, probably.
Yeah, we'll see. Here's the Pheasantipity.
Like, if they put down Monkey Luminous or Monkey Dark, that would be unfortunate for this Charizard.
And here comes Dracula Care being used, using that Recon. Yeah, just kind of, it's going to be, I guess, what the Dragapult player could do if they play their own monkey. Yeah, I guess they could just go monkey, Phantom Dive, KO the Charizard here. But they need to find their own monkey though. That's the big thing. Which I believe this deck does play. This deck normally plays a monkey and a dark.
If it has the dark energy for the
Gotta play
Zorua,
monkey, right?
probably, right?
Yeah, I gotta play monkey, and it should be pretty.
If your
likely.
deck has dark energy, you will play Monkey Door.
Yes, you should be playing monkey, 100%. Yeah, I agree. So,
in fact, I wonder if there's just a straight up Monkey Dory deck. Like, it would probably be fine.
I mean, there was the Badu Monkey Dory Frostlass deck that saw play before Grimstar came out. That was like one of the most Monkey Dory.
Yeah, I actually
decks.
played that in a. I played that in the top 8 of a cut, but I was playing Joltik Box, and I'm like, this is unlosable.
Yes.
Like, I almost lost game 1 because I didn't know what they were playing, so I put out a bunch of my stuff, and the next game I was like, Miraidon, double Iron Hands, Joltik to Iron Hands, go.
That's it.
And
That's
they were
all
like,
you have to
I think
do.
I just lose.
Yes.
Oh, there's the nest ball. Is it for monkey? If that's for the monkey, that would be huge. That would probably, I mean, I wouldn't say game ending, but like pretty close to game ending.
Well, it would just kind of come down to if this Charizard can then sweep them, because if you do take 3 prize cards here, you go down to 1. You actually don't want to take 3 here. You just want to take.
Yeah, I would
2.
probably put energy or damage on that Charmander.
Yeah, because you don't want to activate 330. You want to force the max spell, and without Pidgeot in the situation, it's very difficult for them to find max spell. So yeah, this is definitely a spot where it's
another
like
Arven.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they failed their nest ball. I didn't even notice because the frame rate.
Yeah, this is a.
So no Monkey Dory in deck, which is probably, it's honestly probably in their prizes. I'm assuming that's what they wanted. We have an Arven played right now. Energy switch? Question mark? Why?
I don't know. I wonder what they're trying to do here.
Maybe there was just nothing else to get, but like counter cat. I don't know. I'm very confused.
Yes.
Maybe
So
they just didn't find. Never mind. They found the Dragapult. Okay, so then you have the free retreat due to that rescue board. You have the Phantom Dive, but again, that isn't enough for knockup. But then, of course, next turn they are able to gust up and get a 3 prize turn. But at that point, it would be 2 to 1. And then if they set up the third Charizard, that can be the problem.
So, Nas, in your opinion, do you think?
Or sorry, not third Zard, second Zard.
Yeah. So, Nas, what do you think would be the best deck for Black and White Flare format? I don't know yet. That's a good question. It's kind of hard to tell.
Gardevoir.
Yeah, probably Gardevoir.
It's always Gardevoir.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think people are gonna run the Mega Gardevoir, or do you think that's just like adds too much?
Maybe. Oh, there's Monkey.
They have the monkey.
I'm excited to see what happens with those megas. I think it'll be interesting. I know some people are like, oh, 3 prize Pokemon, but these like 3 prize Pokemon are a little bit weaker than tag teams. Like tag teams were broken because they were basic Pokemon.
Okay, some of the megas are basic from what we've seen, right?
So I'm asking, someone tell me why it is better to skip a turn and not just hit with Zard. So the reason why skipping a turn was better there was because if you hit into them, you just get recoiled back by Reshiram. So you would rather let them take a couple prize cards to max spell one-shot them or just gust around them.
Why did their turn take so long when they had the Monkey Door Luminous energy?
Yeah, they were thinking.
Big thinking.
Yeah, thinking's hard.
Slow play alert.
It is definitely hard.
So we are going to KO this Zard, which means next turn... We do have that Charizard coming down because we have that Charmeleon on the left. So we will get a return knockout because, well, 290, it'll be... it'll be 300, so it will clean knock out this Dragapult with no energy. That's why you have the energy switch for next turn, so you can put like a fire and then switch the luminous energy. I think is the logic, right? Can you energy switch luminous energy?
No, you can't. It's a switch.
Oh, never mind. Damn it, I tried.
You were close. That's what matters.
Don't worry. They're gonna just mind bend and hope next turn. So they're gonna put down a fire energy and then energy switch onto the Monkey Dory.
Yeah, this Dragapult just actually dies yet on Monkey no matter what. Yeah, they're just gonna take the KO because Monkey, like even if they split 2/2/2, which they would have to do, that's the smallest amount of energy split. You would still just get like ran over by a Charizard. So now it's just like you just get hit by Zard, and what do you? I mean, just have to look for
some way to self damage yourself. Rocket's Bomb.
Yeah,
That's what we got.
Rocket's Bomb. That's the one you said. I think the play would have to be like Boss's Orders Jet Headbutt with a Dracoloak that turns into a Dragapult. That's probably the best play here in this situation.
Yeah, because we did not see a Charmeleon, right?
They're not, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
they
no
have
Pidgeot on board.
Partisan.
It's like a lot harder.
They might Turo up their Charmander to remove the low HP liability. That's exactly what we see. So I don't. What's the first attack for Reshiram? I don't. That's the damage one, right?
Yeah, it does. It does the recoil, and then the second attack is just base 170.
Yeah, I don't know what they do in this position. I don't know how you get 110 damage onto the board. You're running the Crystal. You have 200. Yeah, you need Boss, that energy switch, and another energy in hand, and a Dragapult, which is possible because if you gust up the Monkey Door and then obviously can Phantom Dive, you're fine. But putting down a Zorua, this makes me think they don't have it. 'Cause I don't know why you'd put that down otherwise. People do strange things on TCG Live.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think you're just checking.
Just like, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
Now they're gonna like get some. They're gonna get like a Mew that they can draw, and they're gonna be like, oh, I messed up.
I don't think.
But they need a lot here.
They do. They need a lot. That is for sure.
Yeah, because right, it's you need energy, gust. You have the energy switch already. Oh, no, you can't energy switch the. I forgot. You can't energy switch the Luminous. I think you have to just bank on. Mind Bend is probably your best bet at this point. 50-50s for game.
Yep.
Night Stretcher back to Dragapult.
Yeah, I think this. I mean, it doesn't. Nothing works now. There's no. I think there's no line. Because like, well, you get Dragapult here, but you don't. Like, you're down your Crystal. Your deck doesn't have Crispid Bundle in it.
Oh, it's Psychic Energy. I think we are mind bending.
Yep, it's gonna come down to a good old coin flip. But even then, like, I don't think
it's not a coin flip. It's literally like a. You have at least 2 turns of coin flip.
Yeah, that's like the problem. Is that like, what do you do still? It's like you can flip tails and then they go attach return and you can then go for it again. So you have like a very high percentage chance. You have like a 75% chance of winning here, basically. Oh, yeah. The one maybe makes it a little trickier. See, there's a Chi-Yu.
Wait, the Chi-Yu's actually can be really good because if they put the. Oh wait, no, it only does damage if you get it. Does more damage when you get knocked out. I lied, I forgot.
I was gonna say if like you had to retreat into Chi-Yu, attach and then reattach the energies to dodge confusion, that'd be good. But
oh god, my AirPods died, or one of them died. I'm still fine. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, there's an interesting play you can sometimes make with the Zard deck early game. Is you can like when your Charizard gets confused, you can retreat into Chi-Yu, which takes away confusion, and then use Chi-Yu's first attack to get out of confusion. Because the attack just reattaches the energies basically. So you just like discard and then like reattach the energies, but you can't do that here because they only
50-50.
Oh,
he wins.
Wow, let's go. Charizard takes the W. Seark goes to 4-1, taking down Matt 4-2-8 here. And Seark's still alive in the tournament. They are up to 4-1. Need to win 3 in a row here, and then they can ID into asymmetrical, or they could potentially play for 8-1 and try and dodge Asim, but
7-2 might not make it, so it's scary, right?
Yeah,
it's resistance based, which good. Finding out your resistance in actually it's pretty easy in limitless tournaments because you literally just look at your thing and you're like, how are you doing? Oh, how are you doing? Oh,
yes, it is a lot easier for sure. It's way easier to do that.
I wonder how often at like regionals it's not only how like resistance has 2 parts to it of like, oh, your opponents win losses, but then like your opponents win losses, or whatever it is. I wonder how often things come down to the second number because like the normal win percentage is exactly the same, or like the first level of resistance is exactly the same for like top 32 cut or something. That'd be crazy. But honestly, that was a lot of fun. That was a really scary game. That was a really scary game.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, thanks for, hanging out and, giving your passionate casting to the stream. I appreciate you.
Saying I talk a lot.
Always, yeah. And if there's any shout outs or things like that, you want to give right now to the viewers, this is the perfect time. And yeah, we hope to have you on again. This was super fun.
Yes, it was. Again, follow my socials if you want. I'm Esam or I'm.esam. Basically, any website that exists, all of them, every single one of them. But then, of course, don't forget to follow the stream you're currently watching, the Smart TCG stream. Don't forget to check out On Guard, the person that rated. They are one of my local TOs
Yeah.
and judge and generally fun guy. So you should go check out that stream. He's always cooking up weird decks. He loves Yon Mega, and he also loves he was running something else weird, like Armor Rouge Eevee box or something. It was weird.
The spice.
Um, yeah, the spice. And thank you all for watching. And I guess depending on schedule or if I want to play in the next one,
Yeah,
I
you
guess
feel
you'll
free
see
to
me.
play.
No
100%.
obligation, of course.
Yes.
You, Gabe. Uh, but it's a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed the casting. If you have any critiques, tweet at me because I'm always down to learn. I'm, mostly casting Smash where things are happening all the time, so you really have to talk a lot about stuff really fast because, the game is constantly changing. Whereas Pokemon obviously is a little bit more analytical.
It's a little different.
So if you have any critique, let me know because it's fun regardless. And I will see you all next time, I guess.
Yeah, I'd see
The,
you, Sam.
the ethereal next time. Peace. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. All right. What's up, everyone? Excited to hop into the next round of the Smart Series. Hope you guys are all having a great tournament experience so far. Hope everything's been running well. If you have any suggestions or things like that, more than welcome to let me know. Let me just do a couple things here. Yes, I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Have a great evening. All right. Let's see. Any judge calls? I see to handle some judge calls here. I normally don't do them. All right, who do we want to do next? Xavier. What's Xavier's record? Shark. Okay, other 3-2. Let's see. How's Dre doing? Let's take a look at that. Dre went 2-3. All right, let's take a look at some of the. What decks will Lily's Determination be good in when we get it? A lot of different decks. Lily's is a very good card. Lily's is like pretty good. All right, let's take a look at standings here. Oops, actually, let me go over here. All right. So let me just handle this quickly. Always handling judge calls are very interesting. It's like, please head over to judge calls and Discord. You guys get to watch me handle some judge calls now. All right. Anyways, let's take a look here. All right, anyways, back to what we were saying. There is a 5-0 Slow King 5-0 stream. Yeah, we're probably gonna do Slow King. Yeah, we might do Slow King next round. Okay. Yeah, Slow King is 5-0. Charlie, cooking. Doing very well. Doing very, very well. We have... Second. Dude, it is so hard dealing with people who do not understand how to deal with judge calls. It's like insane. It's like actually like impossible to monitor. So for anyone who plays in these online tournaments, if you have an issue with slow play, you have to show me the time difference. All right, next round coming up. All right, next round is up. Let's see, who are we casting over? Give me some go to casters, or I appreciate it. What is your username? All right, we're gonna hop into the next one here shortly. Yeah. Anyways, I had to change a result. If you have a 10-minute time difference in a round, you are going to get a game loss. I'm going to make that very clear. If you have a 10-minute time difference, you are getting an instant game loss. That is absurd. Anyone who plays in actual tournaments like would 100% agree with that. That is asinine. Would you ever get into casting, actually? I mean, I don't know if they'd ever have me in casting. That's the problem, Cal. Like, I'd love to, but I don't know if they're looking for anyone. But anyways, yeah. If you have a 10-minute time difference in a game, you will get a game loss. I do not care. Like, it is insane for you to have a 10, like, you are slow playing to an egregious point if you if that's the case. Regardless of the game situation, yeah, that's bad. Anyways, hopping into round number we have Benny here. Benny B, who is 4-1 against Adam Gold, who is playing Joltik Box here. Adam. All right. So action here, back onto Benny. His board state is pretty decent here. He has the ability to phantom dive this turn, which is like pretty good. You probably don't want to bench Fez. You can just start with Recon here. It seems like fine. Or Nestball to thin out. It depends what's on the bottom of the deck. Like putting Fez down does enable like the potential. Am I checking your Discord DMs? Yeah, I can check them. I'm not judging. Really, I'm only doing it on my free time. If you have any issues, message Owen. I can potentially help you after this round because I can change any result I want. So once I'm done with this, I will look at what you sent me. Sorry, Connor. But the easiest person to go through is Owen because I try not to judge these. And I just like I literally pay. Oh yeah, I don't care about the results. Sometimes, sure, I appreciate it. I will watch if they have an issue this round as well, and I will auto DQ them if they. I just don't want them to keep cheating. Yeah. So if it says I'm on the judge thing, it's not me. It's just Owen's using my account. What was the username of the person? Digital Logic? Yeah. It is actually kind of confusing. Oh, it's this person. Well, they're going against Fabrizio this round, so I don't know if they'll try that there either. But I appreciate it. I'll keep an eye on that round. They shouldn't be 3-2. Should be 2-3. Yeah. Anyways, looking here, Benny is actually in a pretty decent spot because you get rid of the Iron Hands here. And on top of it, if Iron Hands ever KOs this Dragapult, you then just get Iono to 1 Blood Moon or Saloon. And the one way to KO it would be with Clefairy, but it's looking very hard to do that. So for me, not going to get mad, but they shouldn't be playing. I sent you screenshots. Yeah, I can handle it next round. I'll handle it in between. Let me actually. I want to look at his other rounds. Yeah, no. You didn't bother me, bro. You're all good. I appreciate you messaging me. Let me actually, I'm just going to handle this right now. This is annoying me. Yeah, I got you. 1 second. I dealt with it. Like I said, all the info. Yeah. Let me just look at the. Yeah. Wait. I DQ'd him. Alright. Anyways, Benny able to take the convincing W there. I think you're talking in chat. Anyways, Benny able to get the W there. Take down the Joltik box. Advance themselves to 5-1. Let's take a look at who else is playing. That's tough. Yeah, someone was lying about their match results. Are you still playing Inferno Hippo? Oh, you just scooped. Gotcha. If you actually played in one, I would have fixed it, but that's unfortunate. Yeah, don't lie about your results because I'll find you. It's not difficult. You dropped? All good. Yeah, I was like 7-2 wasn't even making it most likely anyway, so. But anyways, Benny advances to 5-1, 2 wins away from top cut for Mr. Billinger here. Let's take a look at any other potential matches we have. What's Sakao 51? How's Sakao doing? Against Alex Douglas. It is Dragapult versus Grimmsnarl. All right. I'm trying to find these guys' records. How many Dragapult are there? There's so many Dragapult. It's like hard to go through all of them. This person is playing against who else is there? Four 4-1. Yo, nice job. Are both of these players 4-1? Chat, someone do some research for me. Need some research on these players' records. We have Sakal 51. Actually, I can figure this out right now. I can just do this. Tournaments, players, participants. Sakal 51 is Simon Copenhaver, who is literally playing as Sakal. I probably should. Oh, these players are both 3-1-1. Okay. Both these players are still in top cut contention. All right. We can actually get back into the game here. My apologies for the past couple of minutes. I've been handling a judge call. That took up way too much time because I didn't want to overstress Owen, who's judging. So anyways, heading back into the game here, we see Dragapult up against Grimmsnarl. Looking pretty good here. For Pult, if they get double Monkey Dory going. If they can get double Monkey Dory, they can do a lot. So, it's going to potentially come down to like a Devo play, possibly. So, we'll see. All right. So, action back here on Alex. Probably just going to see a hit here. But then the thing about this is that, I guess, what if this Dracoloak falls? The problem actually is this Dragaloak is going to get knocked out here, which is an issue. Because what the Grimmsnarl player can do is they can just go move 30 over, punch for 30, KO. Actually, I don't even need to do that. They just need Frostlass. They just move 30 over and then 30 somewhere else and then 30 on that. Yeah, there's so much they can do here, which is pretty good. So yeah, we're just going to see a Monkey Dory and Grimmsnarl taking pretty much down that Dracoloak as Dracoloak gets knocked out. Pokemon both Snarls, I think. Can you? Oh yeah, you can actually, technically. Yeah, if you have boss, you can do that. Yeah. That's true. They need to put 30. Actually, no, yeah, it's perfect math. Yeah, they should just win here then. Unless Devo comes out. Devo is like very annoying here. If they can like Devo the Dragapult and kill it. But they need like bench Impidimp, and then Devo, which is like pretty difficult. So we'll see. Yeah, and I guess this 30, you like probably could just pilot somewhere else. Like you could probably just put it on Monkey here. That's like fine. You could also overkill the or the Grimmsnarl, but that doesn't really matter at this point because there's already 60 on the board. So yep, just put it in there. I think that's correct. I think that's like definitely fine. Then we'll see Phantom Dive taking the KO here, taking down that Grimmsnarl. This other little bit of damage can just go onto that Monkey Dory. It's like completely fine. Yep, very smartly leaving that with 10 left because that means they're all going to die to Frostlass. My goodness. Wow. This also just works. I mean, yeah, this is like very, very favored now, I guess. $70. 30 more. Yeah, this doesn't do anything. Yeah, just Phantom Dive for game. Wow. Dragapult comes back from a little bit of a sketchy situation. Lucas 5-1. Who? Is this in top 8 or 22 points? Whichever one it clears. So like ASEM will most likely just be it's whichever one it chooses. So it would be 7-1-1. Yeah. It would always be 7-1-1 because that's 22 points. And that's top 8 too. Like, there's like no chance it's 8-1, I think. I don't think that's gonna happen. But all right. Yeah, it should be X11. Yeah, from the looks of it, it should be. Just like looking at like where people are at right now, I think that's what's gonna happen. Let's take a look at who's doing well. Maybe OX2? I don't know. I'm like, maybe. Like, possible. Azul is 4-1 right now. He's alive, but this event's brutally hard. It's like there's so many people. Anyways, let's take a look at how the standings are going. Let me just update standings. All right, so looking at here, we have Tomate Kanaji, or Tomate Konaji, with Dragapult Charizard at 6-0. We have GWYDR with Gardevoir. We have Cleffa Broken at 6-0 with Dragapult Dusknoir. We have Project Arceus at 6-0 with Dragapult. So Dragapult deck's most successful by far to start off. Matt Bridges, 6-0 with Joltik Box. Looks like a pretty favorable meta for him. We have Kukas with Grimmsnarl at 6-0. We have Arthur Jorge 6-0 with Ceruledge. We have Karen Nan 6-0 with Grimmsnarl Frostlass. We have Bartek Zhirsch, I believe, who's from Poland, 5-1 with Flareon Noctowl. Who is this? We have Torta Lover 67 at 5-1. I can't believe that's their name. We have Charlie 5-1. We're probably gonna watch their match next round, I think. We have Joe Lift 5-1 with Raging Bolt Ogerpon. We have Jamin at 5-1 with Dragapult. Let's see. Azul GG is 5-1 after defeating, I believe, Grimmsnarl the last round. I heard there was a Ho-Ho box that was 5-1. Is this true? No. Wow, this this deck shit the bed. That's unfortunate. Is there any crazy decks doing well? Thorns Crustal is having a tough one. There are a couple at 4-2. Let's see. Enzork. There is a 5-1 all-out Blitzle is 5-1 with Enzork Maractus. Shoutouts James for playing Zork. Anything else? Yeah, Adam Kalamat was Joltik Box, did lose to Benny. That was a good matchup. Both people consistently or have seen success in the past. Looks like Vinicius Agasio Gomes, I believe, took down Sunny playing Charizard Dragapult. So Vina goes to 5-1 with Pure Pulse. This is the big talk, though. There is a Slow King that is a lot. Let's take a look at the list. And surprisingly, 11-5 so far. We have Mr. Peanut, who unfortunately just lost, but the deck is alive, which is pretty cool to see. So let's take a look at this. Let's go to Charlie here and see what Charlie's playing. So this is Charlie Queen. She got top 8 at the most recent Brisbane Regional Championships. And yeah, they're playing a pretty cool deck here. They're playing the 4-3 Slow King line, 2-3 Zatu, 1 Tatsuguri, 1 Conkeldurr, so that you can copy that gutsy swing. You have 1 Annihilate, or 1 Annihilate. I think that's how you say it, right? 1 Annihilate here. You got 1 Gigas, 1 Drifloon to spread damage, and then 1 Kirim along with Squawkabilly. No Max Rod in this deck. That's what's kind of surprising. That's the ace. They did not choose Max Rod as the ace spec of choice. 4 Carmine, 3 Research, 1 Lana's Aid, 1 Iono, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Night Stretcher, 3 Super Rod, 1 Master Ball, 1 Palpad, 1 Rescue Board, 4 Academy at Night. That's the core of the deck to be able to consistently use that. And then 6 Psychic, 4 Jet Energy to round the list. So this deck we will potentially get on stream next round.